Hello everybody, it is us, it is me, it is him, the legend, and it is of course a best of 5 today that we don't want to miss. It should be a tough one, in theory at least, who knows, maybe we just steamroll over it, but I heard some gossip on the street that it shouldn't be a one-sided one, it should be an exciting one. And of course, I'm here to accompany you guys, but it is also the wonderful Warlix with me. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm ready for a banger. Like you said, this time a bit more of a tougher opponent. And on top of that, we get the best of 5 as well. So hopefully we get some spicy games. Maybe we get some more Skrillex jingle pick bangers, you know? Yeah, the Udyr, the Ornn. What's next?
Wait, we need to go way back. We saw the Udyr perma-banned in the first series, then he went for the Kazakhs, and I still remember Kakao absolutely molding over some things in that game, but he said, you know, in the interview when he was like, yeah, I'm just feeling jungle and I'm doing my best, you know, and there Kakao gave him his respects, I remember that. And then we had him on the second game series on some Udyr duty, and we also saw him on the Ornn, which surprised me a lot because, yeah, jungle Ornn is not something that you see a lot. And honestly, it's also not something that I see succeeding a lot, but it did work out. Now today, I mean, it's 3 picks already. We might see a 4th, a banger pick. Who knows? That would be absolutely amazing, of course. But hey, do you think we will see lethality jinx again? I mean, that would be way more important, right?
I mean, I guess if we bring out the bangers, bring them out loud, you know? But yeah, I mean, this is going to be like a tougher game, so perhaps we're going to see a bit more serious picks and item builds as well. But we'll see, like in the end, they're also kind of doing it for fun, bringing the friends together to play for a cup and making the best out of it, right? So we'll see how they want to approach this game.
No, we'll see. I need to, throw in the important stuff into the chat here real quick, saying that we are ready. And you guys know me, I always need to be a little bit extra, you know. The beep beep Foxnyr caused is ready indeed. Yeah, this truck serves some absolutely banger memories. But it seems like we are all ready, and that means we should be able to jump into Le Draft soon, which would be absolutely amazing. Only, I always look at the minutes. Sometimes it takes literally, 15 or 20 minutes until the players can start. So it always seems hard how you need to get like 20 people ready, you know. Both teams have a cast as well, so shout out to them. The VfB, by the way. We were still trying to find out what it stands for, but for now it's just VfB eSports. And come on.
If anyone figures that one out, let us know.
Yeah, 100%. Come on, start. Come on, do it. I think everything is ready. I have to say it's funny though how the other caster for VfB is like, yeah, cast is ready. Wait, who is which side, by the way? But of course, I'm a professional. I have it all sorted out, and that will allow us to jump straight into it. It is Foxnyr on the blue side, and it is VfB on the red side, and we will see the first few bans already. Rumble will be the first one. And Warlix, I need to have your opinion because I'm a biased Rumble hater. I really think this champion is so good in top lane, in mid lane, in jungle. Heck, even play him as support if you want. He scales super well. So yeah, I know, again, you shouldn't really yap too much about bans because they're not in the game. But man, I just want to say I love the Rumble ban because that champion is so good in my opinion. And I don't see it a lot, and that worries me.
Yeah, Rumble is like one of those classic lane bullies. The Flame Splitter in lane is just so oppressive for any melee champions in the top lane. So, I can kind of join you in on that one, that, Rumble is not that nice to see in your top lane. So we're going to see that one banned as well, which is great, Maybe we get some banger top lane matchups, some Bruiser action. Hopefully not wet noodle fights, because we don't like those, right? That's kind of boring.
Oh, is it? Well, okay, we can speedrun all the other bands because they're boring, right? I mean, Aatrox against Trollimo, the classic. Draven against Stralex, the classic. He's literally called X, you know? He's literally Draven main. He's in the jungle in this game, but who knows? Maybe you can switch up some positions and have some shenanigans. Then, yeah, LeBlanc against our mid laner. Why not? It's Blackpink fan today. And the Jhin against Marth. That surprises me, but hey, whatever. Not like... you know, we need anything special more about the bands. But way more importantly, the Udyr first pick, so it's not a fourth pick. It is just going to be the Udyr once again. And I'm a big fan, but the Jarvan itself already like a little bit of a counter in theory at least.
Yeah, we're gonna see the Udyr once again for Stralex. I mean, it worked out quite well for him last time, right? So... I mean, also if you're like filling into a position you're not playing right, so play something that you're comfortable with. And well, clearly he has played Udyr a couple times already, so you should be more than comfortable with that. And then on the other side, we have the Jarvan. It's always been a very strong pick in pro play, right? So we've often seen Jarvan in the meta. Currently, not that much as far as I'm aware, so we'll see how that one goes. But yeah, his early gank potential with the flag and drag is very classic, right? It's quite strong, so we'll see what he can make of that.
Yep. You know, the absolute classic thing, of course, is with a Jarvan, you can, in the direct matchup, just jump onto the Udyr and then flag and drag out, and Udyr doesn't really do too much, but hey, as Udyr, you are used to it, right? Now, the most important hype pick here has to be the Akali. Like, that champion, man. Woo! Absolute insane outplay potential, absolute playmaker, and it is on Blackpink fan nonetheless. So what will the matchup be? So far it is a hover on the Sylas, but something that we can talk about that is confirmed already is the Zeri on our side. Maybe you saw the orchestral instrumental video already, where we have the Viego Zeri and looks like wallpaper-esque backgrounds there. Did you see that one? It looks super epic, by the way.
I have not seen it yet, but I've seen it like posted, but I've not yet listened to it. But I'll definitely have to check in on that one.
Yeah, we'll just send you the picture so you can, you know, so you can hype a little bit with us for the Zeri. It's a big one, Imo. But of course, we also have to talk about just the draft so far. You know, again, to hype us up a little bit. Wait, I got it right there. I can send it to you. But yeah, we have some answers. We have some non-answered stuff already. What are your thoughts on the draft so far?
I mean, you know, getting the Sylas versus Akali mid lane is going to be an absolute banger matchup. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Yeah, on the other side, like, you know, you have Jarvan, Sylas, Jinx, you know, very solid team fighting as well. But then you also have the Zeri, which is also very good at team fights. So we're gonna have to see how they're gonna try to close out these team compositions and perhaps gonna have like a protect the AD carry team composition kind of thing. And then it's just gonna be, you know, which AD carry can pop off harder.
Yep, 100% true. The Zeri and the Jinx are for sure the sights to behold at this point. The things to look at. It will never get boring to me that Nasus is something that you have to ban right now, but there it is. Nasus support would have been absolutely massive, by the way. Wait, are you up to date with the current Nasus debacle, or can I give a quick rundown how that happened, because it's really funny to me?
I mean, you're probably more informed on that one than I am, so I would say go ahead.
But you know that in like super high elo scrims, sometimes we do see Nasus versus Garen in mid lane, or is that?
I have seen it in LCK. Yeah. Was it like Trophy against someone else? I can't remember. I think Showmaker? Question mark.
It's so funny to me, but basically because so many junglers are on the AP trip right now. You know, some pro teams were like, "Hey, can we play mages mid lane again?" And the junglers were like, "Nope, Lilia Karthus too good. I don't want to swap away. Keep on playing AD mid." So then, you know, so many people played ADCs mid lane. I mean, you name it, the Corki, the Tristana, then the answers showed up, like the Lucian, sometimes even Draven, sometimes the Zeri, so, you know, all this crazy stuff. And then one guy was like, wait a second, what if we pick Nasus mid and we just wither the poop out of every ADC? And then some people were like, wait a second, Nasus is actually a decent champion if every team plays like 2 ADCs at once. And then, you know, some support players were like, wait, do I have to also play this now in case you want to like flex it? And there we are. That's how we got Nasus as a like viable support champion, right? That's so cool in my opinion.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to see how like everything is kind of like a domino effect. You know, it started off with some AP junglers being good, and that like transitions into the mid lane, and like the whole meta shifts around it as people try to adapt to how everything changes.
Yeah, man. Now compare that to like CS, where the only thing looking weird was Strelex with his skin. You know, the only one not basically wearing this version of a team jersey. Man, what a shame. What a shame. Okay, I gotta give you that one now. Are the skins allowed in CS Pro Play? You know, the model skins or what you call them in that game, or?
I think in most, or at least like in ESEA League, which you know our team will be playing, it's not allowed to have the agent skins on, and like in most pro tier tournaments, it's also not allowed. So yeah.
Sad, a bit sad, man. You could maybe get some custom stuff made there, but I understand it, right? Maybe sometimes it's a bit weird. I remember when I played a lot of Apex, I played Bald Wraith. You know a bit about Apex?
I know the game, but I don't like know anything in the game itself. Like,
okay. So you know, I like to be as try hard sometimes. You know, don't focus too much about the aesthetics. And there was a skin that had a bald, you know, no hair. That was, I mean, it had an actual name, but everybody called it Bald Wraith. And I was like, wait a second, if you do not have hair, does that mean if you stand behind like a rock? And from the angle, if you had the normal skin and the enemy would see your hair like look out there, now you're the bald one and then they can't see it, you might have an advantage in like 1 out of 200 matches. That's my skin, baby. You might gain a competitive edge like once in 5,000 hours of playing, so gotta go for that one. Yeah, man. And so I get the rule for CS. And honestly, in League, it's a bit of the same. Like, there are some forbidden skins, I think. Like, the Eye Blitzcrank is not really allowed. I don't know if you know that one.
Yeah, isn't there also like the Lux skin, I think? What's it called? Steel something?
Yes.
I don't know if it's...
Yes. I remember, to me, the worst offender in the old days was the Blue Flame Annie, or what she was called, because when she didn't have the visualization under her HP bar, when she has the stun ready, the blue one had a much harder to see visual effect on the character that her stun is ready. So, yeah, there are some outliners there, but I feel like 90% of skins are safe to pick. And yeah, I mean, we can judge the drip once we go in game. But now, of course, a lot of funny haha talk, a lot of yapping. Now I need to ask our expert, do you prefer a team comp here over the other?
I mean, it is gonna be so difficult. I think it's just gonna come down to execution. Like we can already said in the draft, right? It's just gonna be like protect the AD carry composition, and then you're gonna have like Akali and Silas just trying their best to disrupt, you know, whatever is going on in the team fights. So it's definitely gonna be like, you know, can they one-shot the AD carry, or is it gonna be, you know, Jinx versus Sarah just battling it out on the Rift, trying their best to sidestep everything that will be going to be thrown at their faces, right? So we'll have to see how the execution is gonna come through.
Yep, the execution really important. I wanna add, it is Marth on the Zeri, and if I can say one thing, Marth on Zeri is an absolute beast. I mean, I would describe myself as the oldest Marth fanboy there is. You know, I've been saying this guy is going to be huge. Like 4 years ago or 5 years ago, when we played together in Ascension, I was like, man, this guy's mindset, his workflow, his, you know, everything, this guy is gonna be big one day. And look at my boy now. He is kinda big indeed. He played in the 2nd division, and now he tries to qualify But first of all, he has to go through the final game here, the final best of 5, and I hope we can jump into the game any minute now.
I'm already in the game.
You're already in the game, yeah, perfect. You can tell me if something overly exciting happens, but oh yeah. I'm also
do have a little bit of ward action going on from the side of Foxnyr. I get that ward on the Raptors on the top side. Now that ward is actually really useful because it's gonna spot out where the jungler is gonna start pathing and where the jungler is gonna go. So Obsess is gonna start on the red buff. He's not gonna get the leech, but you will be spotted on that ward on the Raptors in a bit. So that's gonna give Foxnyr a good indication of where Obsess is gonna be in the early game.
Insane casting here. Yeah, I'm slowly catching up. We will see the ward. Man, that is always so risky to me though. If the ward gets eaten by jungle plus mid lane or top lane, then you're gonna have a bad time. But you kind of need to ward like that against Jarvan. That is why Jarvan is so great right now. You can just freely full clear. That is a fine option, but you can also go for those cheeky level 2, level 3 ganks sometimes. So yeah, against Jarvan you always need to be a little bit on the lookout. While comparing it to the Udyr, Udyr needs his early levels. He needs his, well, at least Phoenix, Tiger, and the Bear Stand. So the earliest he really can gank is level 3, and even that would be kind of a cheese, right? Because you kind of want to wait.
Yeah, I want to point out that on the other side they also get the ward on the Raptor. So Skrillex, he's going to be spotted out on that ward as well. So both teams know that the junglers are going to be both on the bot side at the moment.
Yep, that is an important information. And again, it also looks like both junglers are just going to full clear. Oh, you saw the Maxi. Oh, you saw the Maxi holding the wave here. The Maxi wave hold. It's almost like those guys know what to do with a wave. I love it.
Yeah, you love to see some good wave management. Keeping it off the tower, but this time it will be pushed all the way through, and it looks like they're gonna go for a reset. Yeah, there we go. Fairy Fountain is gonna be recalling. And then, like, you know, we're looking at the top lane right now. This is gonna be like the wet noodle fight that we kind of talked about. You know, maybe at the start of the round, you know, Ilaoi is gonna be quite annoying with her E-Ride. Kind of a lane bully in that sense, but at some point Frolimo is just gonna be so tanky that he really doesn't care anymore, right? And then, you know, they just kind of slap each other around, and that's basically it. But yeah, I think we're gonna mostly be looking at the mid lane, right? The Akali versus Sylas matchup is really, really spicy.
Akali versus Sylas. Like, those are the X factor in this game. We were talking a lot about, hey, Fairy Fountain on Jinx, hey, Marth on Zeri. Yeah, you know, being an ADC is pretty great and all, until that one point where Akali or Sylas just one-shots you from 100 to 0, and you're like, why do I pick ADC even? What is this crap, man? So, yeah, we do have some good... Yeah, I would say so. We do have some good peel on both sides, though. You know, Maxi Thunder with his steadfast presence can do a lot. Or then also, of course, Nautilus, if he just hooks the Akali out of her jump, for example, out of her shuriken flip, stuff like that, is an insane peel. So again, a lot of outplay potential, man. I'm actually hyped. I have one question though. Why the heck is there like a 2-kill gold advantage already? What happened?
It's gonna be mostly coming down to the farm, right? At the top lane, like I talked about, right? This Ilaoi Satorius is gonna be very annoying in the laning phase to start with. So a little bit of a farm advantage in the top lane and also in the mid lane, actually, which, you know, probably did not expect that one to be coming through. But we'll see how that one develops over time. We do see there's a little bit of a wave stacked up still for Blackpink fan to collect, but yeah, we just see the farm advantage going in the favor of VfB eSports right there.
Yeah, I can tell you so much. Like, Akali usually wants to hit level 9, and then she becomes really strong because her 5-point strike, so her Q, gets an additional effect at 5 points put into it. Wait, I should be able to highlight this real quick, right? But I think it's like 20% less, or something. Man, chat, help me out there, Freeze or somebody, Barcode, you know, help me out here. I know the 5th point in Akali's Q does something. Or, you know, maybe they patched it out 7,000 years ago. But, man, talking about the mid lane, no kill will be found. Both flashes have been traded. But yeah, what I wanna basically say with that huge-ass long yapping... oh, top lane. No, is this first blood? The turret
like
will be it. Yes, first blood taken there. But yeah, to bring my point, finally. Akali really wants level 9. Sylas with the Kingslayer, especially in melee matchups, always has that little bit of, you know, sustain. That's also why Blackpink fan opted for the Oblivion Orb early to get the Grievous Wounds. I actually want to look at the healing, because Kingslayer is even getting maxed here. And it heals between 90 and 180 health, based on his missing health. And so basically if he has 50% or less health, he gets 180 health back, and that is just massive lane sustain that you're missing a little bit as Akali, right?
Yeah, that's definitely like an advantage you have as the Sylas, right? If you play around that cooldown really well, and also when you get level 9, the cooldown just is so low on that ability, and it makes him really strong skirmisher. He also has the Conqueror, so these long, extended fights are really good for the Sylas.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there. But hey, we saw how close it was. We tried to play around our level 6 spike in the mid lane. And then it was the level 6 top lane spike. So yeah, of course, we can also talk about the Eloy. Because Eloy, to me, is a classic Feast or Famine champion. If you have to engage into her, oh never mind, hold that thought real quick. It is a 4 versus 2 on bot lane. We get a 1. Will we get the other one without somebody dying? Oh, Marth, survive, please, with the barrier. He will survive. Now Frolimo also going for some risky strats here. We can see the leap of faith from Sartorius on top lane. And I think this will just be the kill. But does it really matter? Because maybe with that one death, Frolimo seems to go for the classic side strat here on top lane.
Yeah, it's a classic proxy farming. It's just so annoying to deal with, because, you know, the only way you can kind of stop it is you proxy farm yourself as well, or, you know, you have to kill him, but he's like so annoying and tanky, and then you lose farm into your own tower as well. So, yeah, it is really annoying to deal with, but basically, Frolimo is just trying to, you know, get rid of the laning phase here and make Sartorius chase him down and potentially lose CS in the process as well. So you can see he did die in a lane, but he's gonna go back to lane as well. He will not lose that much CS in the process. But he will be down 0-2. But in the end, he's farming, he's stacking up to be a good tank, right? And yeah, it's just a classic, you know, I'll just take farm and I don't care that I'm dying strategy to avoid the laning phase.
Yep, a lot of action on bot lane already. You can see it with 2 engaged supports. It is an interesting one, you know. It's not Soraka and Yumi and just a ton of heals and making your ADC be safe. No, 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 no. It is 2 tanks that like to go in. Yeah, we said it. Or I said it at least, you know. They also have a bit of peel, but they can also use all their abilities offensively to find the engage and to try to catch someone. But so far, it is Marth with the 2-0, with the boots all ready. And I talked about it yesterday when we played Flex. What is with this Rectrix hype, man? I think it's just a good item. More movement speed.
I'm gonna be honest. Maybe we're gonna get Lethality Zeri? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, there's
oh my god, yes!
Speed on Zeri.
AP Zeri, bro! Oh, Obsess is there. He will face tank a little bit, but man, this is a ton of red HP bars. And it is going to be a tough loss here for Foxnyr. It was looking decent, but Baumi and Obsess, they were just in position. I hate to see it.
Yeah, it seems like they have the read on that play. Could be the ward in the mid.
Oh my god, are we seeing a kill here? Storm Fury will get away with the anchor. And he will not die. Oh, that is so annoying. The ignite was not enough. We almost got him.
Yeah, that was very close. Almost good punish play. And now Fairy Fountain just looking to push out this wave from a safe distance. Yeah, Foxnyr is going to have to reset. There's not too much to do here, unfortunately. Yeah, you can see there's a couple wards here in the river for VfB eSports here. So I didn't quite catch it, but perhaps they spotted out the rotation towards the bot lane, and they were more than ready to punish that potential dive coming in for Foxnyr. And they punished it quite well. And now they will be taking their grips on the top side as well. They got the reset earlier. They always have the presence in the top lane as well from the Alawi that is just so punishing. So yeah, grip secured. It's going to be 6 grips as well, so it's kind of scary to have a lot of power to push towers as well now. And just in general, if you look at the minimap, there's so many red wards on the minimaps. There's so much vision for VfB eSports, and it's going to make it so much more easier to play this map in this state.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, so top one. And again, I couldn't really finish that thought. The Eloy, I think it's a genius pick here. What did I say? I said it's feast or famine. If you have to engage into her, it is definitely a super strong pick. And against Cyan, it also seems to have a pretty good lane. So Black Cleaver already done for Sartorius. So one of the first fully completed items. Strong pick here by the... what is it? Oh, is it VfB? There we go, VfB.
Yeah, it is a bit of a tricky one, huh?
Yeah, I always have to remember it and then look over at the screen. What was the name again? Oh yeah, VfB eSports. There we go.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be grouping up here for the Dragon, but in the meantime, this Alawi is just going to continue to push on the top lane. Frolimo once again just kind of proxying as well, so that will stop Sartorius from pushing more. There's going to be the Dragon started off by Foxnyr here, and it seems like it will not be contested on the side of VfB eSports, so we're just going to respect it, they're going to walk away, and they're going to let it go.
Talking about respecting it, I was just told that we have to, if a name is German, like origin, then we have to pronounce it German. So for you now, Warlicks, it is called VfB. You know, we have to say it
make
like
them
that.
more difficult.
Yeah, else they will sue us, and you know, we will have to pay the dear price. That's
well, for that sake, I'll do my best.
You know, just try it, VfB. So it's really easy, right?
Oh, we're gonna have more wet noodle fights on the top lane. Frolimo, you know, at some point, like I said, he's gonna be so tanky that it's just not worth engaging onto him anymore, right? He's gonna be able to teleport back in the lane, catching that wave. Yeah, in the meantime, bot lane has returned to lane. Marv is also pathing down to the bot lane. And yeah, there's just no objectives on the map right now, so we're gonna get a little bit of peace and quiet for now.
Oh man, but it's so tough. Moxie tries to just hold the wave somehow. The little Void Kevins, they are so annoying. Can we get something? Fairy Fountain will flash out, still has the barrier up, will use it, but it's not enough. Marv and Blackpink fan, honestly, I feel like they are our hope right now. Those two, they carry. They have to carry. They are carrying right now, they're looking good, but they have to keep it up. Else it could look a bit hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think the important thing is all, like, when we look at these team comps, right, we're going to be looking at the Akali and Silas. Can they one-shot the enemy AD carry, and how are Marth and Fairy Fountain able to position themselves in team fights, because they're going to be the most important assets into the team fights. And if you look where the gold is positioned on the players, you look at a 301 Zeri and a 113 Akali, they're doing pretty damn good. And if you look at VfB eSports, most of their money is going to probably be on this Ilawi in the top lane. And that is just not as effective as having it on your carry players.
There's a free kill for Obsessed, basically. Question is, how long does it take to get the kill? Will he use the Cataclysm? You don't really want to use the Cataclysm, right? That's a waste of an ultimate, but Frolimo is just eating on the way at the time of the jungler. Using, oh my god, he's just... Wait, that's literally...
Clear another wave.
Yeah, that's literally what was happening in the CS
there we go,
match.
Super Mega Death Rocket also used.
Yeah, but
you don't want to prevent Jinx from getting an assist there, so yeah.
That was
will
so
end up
stupid.
dying, but you can kind of see what the idea is for Frolimo. So if he keeps proxy farming in the top lane, it means Sartorius is not able to, you know, punish the Cyan pick here. And on top of that, you know, you do still get the farm in the top lane, and you know, even though you're gonna give up a lot of gold on the early game by dying, the longer it goes on, you keep getting tankier from farming minions, right? That's part of the Cyan W passive, if I'm correct. And it's just gonna, you know, you're gonna get tankier and tankier, and at some point it's just not worth for Sartorius to, you know, chase this annoying ass Cyan. And then you're just gonna have to accept that you have no more waves in top lane, because he's proxy farming all the damn time.
Well, he's on 616 max health extra, and we can see here that it's 4 max health whenever he kills a minion. Yeah, Cyan, again, in theory, you know, that's a whole other a topic to talk about. There are a lot of quote-unquote infinite scalers, but nobody really truly scales infinitely, right? Because, yeah, in theory, you can have close to, you know, I don't know, 1 million HP if you play against something like a Vayne or a Fiora with true damage, then, yeah, you know, good luck on, yeah, you know what I mean, right? For example, I think Veigar is close to being the truest insanely scaler, because not of only the AP he gets, but his W gets reduced cooldown the more stacks he has, so, you know. But yeah, this infinite scaling stuff, for sure, it is good to have and to abuse, but if an ADC is on like max items, he will always be able to kind of just melt you. And also what is happening here? Wasn't Frolimo just on bot lane a few seconds ago? Now he's here. What?
Yeah, he kinda just used the unstoppable onslaught. He just gonna zoom his way into the enemy base, catch another couple of waves. He's just being super mega annoying, and like the longer this game goes on, the tankier he's gonna get with items and his passive, and he's just gonna be really annoying to deal with.
Moxie Thunder, if you can get out of that, that would be absolutely amazing. Has to flash the Cataclysm. Again, that's the strength of the Jarvan here, but Moxie making it look doable to somehow escape the grudges of VfB.
Yeah, as this game goes on, I want to see how VfB are gonna deal with this Cyan though, but now we're gonna get the teleport into the bot lane.
Straylex, very fountain, out of position, getting caught here. Straylex is going to get out even without a hassle. Oh, never mind, Marth here might be in trouble, but never mind. Now though, the tentacles, they are slapping, they are doing work, and Straylex suddenly just disappeared. Let me show you a magic trick, said Sartorius. And got a kill, and now the dragon will be the objective here for Obsess.
Yeah, they get the pick on the Fairy Fountain, so the damage was kind of lacking there. Also followed, but hold on, Foxnyr are still gonna contest this dragon, it seems like.
Sartorius, no more Starox, flashing into the bush. Marth on the hunt here. All eyes on him. As long as he's alive and he can dish out damage, we are looking just fine. Obsess there, going down. And only Baumi is alive to tell of the tale of surviving Foxnyr's onslaught there.
Yeah, once again, I think it's very important to have a look at these team compositions, because everything is going to come from your mid and bot laner. So they get the pick on the Fairy Fountain, which means on the side of VfB they're lacking in damage, but they kind of brought back the fight because Illaoi hit an insane leap of faith. There was so many tentacles that dished out so much damage. And once again, all the money is on Sartorius as well, so that was a massive swing into the fight. But after that kind of dissipated, you know, Foxnyr realized, hey, they still don't have their AD carry, there's no leap of faith left. We still have our fat Sari left, so they're gonna recontest that dragon and they win out on the fight purely because they have their carry still left to stand.
Yeah, to translate that for all the Marth fanboys, Marth, even though we have a new deer, Marth is the true beast in this game, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, man, he is making God's work right now. Yeah, that's, you know, classic. I'm not a fanboy, but it's like, nah, man, I'm open to it. I said it in the earlier stages of the cast. Marth absolutely goated for me.
Yeah,
oh no, Straylex. Ah, that was what I was talking about. No chance to escape the Cataclysm. Just stuck there for a ton of time. Straylex holding on to dear life. And now the entire Foxnyr squad, they are showing up. And as we wished for, those games are so close. Now Moxie Thunder kind of in trouble. Walking away from the Anchorman. Storm Fury is trying to get the hold of the little Yordle. Moxie, run quicker. No, that was literally an undodgeable anchor. Maybe we can use the time to get the mid lane turret. That would be a huge one. But maybe we also just do not want to let them through the river here in here. Oh no, probably no. Tanking a lot, Fairy Fountain. We have to look at the positioning here. Blackpink Fang jumping in the Shroud now. Looking kinda hot here. Obsessed Flag and dragging out. Blackpink Fang getting a kill, but will instantly die now. Baumi and Obsessed are dropping super low. Marth is on the hunt once again. Obsessed jumping over, knocking up Marth. Marth trying his best here with the barrier. He will die though to Baumi and his chain combo. Meanwhile, Sartorius in the 1v1 will find Frolimo. And this is a double kill though for the Udyr. Fairy Fountain still alive on just a sliver of HP. And sadly, this one went over to our friends from VfB.
Yeah, this time Marth just getting knocked up a couple too many times, and Baumi living with just a slither of HP, but he gets the Chainsaw and the Kingslayer, keeps him alive long enough to get Marth killed, and that kind of just spells the end for the team fight for Foxnyr. But man, what a banger of a fight. And also, I want to give a huge shout out to Maxi, because he kind of just, you know, saved Strolex's life in that encounter before the team fight. You know, kind of went in with the heroic charge and said, you know, I'll take one for the team.
Yeah, for sure. It's always a bit sad if before a big fight we have those stupid, annoying catches happen. Because, man, it could have been so much better if we had just this tiny little bit extra, extra portion of resources from the Poppy, especially with her beautiful hammer swings. She can just make somebody fly away. That is utility that we're missing. Again, Steadfast Presence. It cannot be talked about often enough. A powerful, powerful ability on a big cooldown, but also really strong. And now we are seeing Frolimo with the teleport in the bot side. At the same time, we are seeing Sartorius moving on towards the top side. So, what is the current lane assignment going to be?
Well, we did see VfB try to get some control of that Baron Pit in addition, but in the meantime, Foxnyr just pushed out the bot lane and the top lane, and you know they're pushing in all these waves to get in the tower, so they're really going away with the money in this play. So good stuff from Foxnyr, and now they seem to be resetting a little bit, spending their money, and we're probably gonna see some dragon fights coming up pretty soon as well, as that will be spawning relatively soon. It's also Soul Point for Foxnyr. They've been collecting all these dragons, you know, silently throughout this game. They haven't really pointed it out so far since there's been so much action going on. So yeah, we're gonna see like a, you know, a little dance of, you know, mid-wave control and vision control towards his dragon area.
Half a minute until the dragon spawns. And it's an important one, you said it here, dear Warlicks. It is the soul point, so we want to look for an engage here. The hammer will hit somebody, throw Silas out. Can we find the engage here? The unstoppable onslaughts coming into mid lane, not really finding anything, except you lose your soul and some HP, which is obviously annoying. And now it's all about the mid lane wave again. Man, this poke by Sartorius. It's so annoying. Now the hook connecting. When will we finally go in? Blackpink Fan going in there in the Shroud. Straylex going for the flag. We find the kill on the ADC. That is important. Baumi also super low will fall. And there is another kill on Sartorius. Never mind, he is not falling, but Storm Fury is as good as that. Baumi and Fairy Fountain in the grain screen already. So it is a free for nothing for Foxnyr.
Yeah, Frolimo got his hands on top of Fairy Fountain, and that's going to spell the end of him as well. And that's just basically a foul win. We talked about these AD carries are so important because they're just all the DPS you have in teamfight. Also, Blackpink Fan actually got a really good flank up as well, which you know, started off the fight quite well for Foxnyr, and that's going to be Soul Point picked up. And that's also the Mountain Soul that's going to allow Marth and Blackpink Fan just to survive that much longer into the teamfights. And even on like Frolimo and Strolax, they're going to be so tanky, and it just makes everything so much more difficult for VfB eSports.
The mid lane turret, just a cherry on top here. Maybe even another one, depends how greedy are we, when do we want to go back, because if we look at the gold, yeah, everybody is close to 1k. Blackpink Fan almost meeting Obsessed there now finally. They are saying, oh hello there, what is popping up? But of course, if you are Blackpink Fan, you are super mobile, you have like 7,000 dashes, so you should get out of this one. And instead, we will turn it around. Obsessed also super low, both the jungler and the mid laner are getting traded out for each other now. Straylex in a bit of trouble, but Frolimo teleporting into the mid lane and just being there. Marth now starting to walk in, dealing a ton of damage again. It's only 3 members from VfB. They will not stand a chance against the united power here. Moxie in a bit of a tough one. He will die, sadly, to the Jinx. So that is a small W going over to Fairy Fountain. But his entire team is dead. And this means this Nash should comfortably go over to our boys.
Yeah, that was actually kind of agree from Foxnyr a little bit there, right? They had so much cash, they won the team fight, they got the Drake. They're pushing him in to get the tier 1 tower, they're looking for the tier 2 tower even. And they had just so much gold left to spend, but even then, without spending all of that cash, they still won out on the fight. You know, Blackpink fan kind of played that really well, and the Akali is so slippery. Kind of gets out of there, and then Baumi tries to, you know, follow it up, but he goes a little too deep and it's gonna cost him his life. And then, you know, the team fight just turns in favor of Foxnyr, even though they have so much cash left. And now they get the Baron on top of that as well. They get to spend everything. So it's looking very good for Foxnyr right here. We're going to have a 2.5k gold lead for them. Now let's see how they're going to be able to utilize this Baron.
Yeah, so I want to look at the items real quick. So Blackpink fan with the Lich Bane for, you know, more sustained damage, the longer you can stay in the fight. Marth on the 4th item already. You know, Fairy Fountain and Marth, they are looking kinda equal right now, but Marth already has a little bit of a lifesteal that could come in clutch if you wanna heal up again after a big fight. And yeah, anything interesting you're seeing here?
As I'm scanning, not necessarily, but yeah, Marth is definitely really fat. He does have the Infinity Edge over Fairy Fountain, so that's like such a massive spike of an item, right, that goes in the head of Foxnyr right here. Other than that, we do still have the Seeker's Arm Guard, you know, Blackpink fan, so whenever he wants to use that, he can pop that into the team fight when necessary.
Oh, a lot of chain CC here onto Maxi Thunder. He could be a little bit out of position there, but what did we just invest in those single catches that we found repeatedly now? Wait, what is it actually? It was only Storm Fury's ult, so I think it is kind of worth it here. So yeah, that's a little bit of a sad one that Moxie just yeah, overstepped a bit.
Yeah, it's only gonna be the depth charge used. So Foxnyr, they're gonna respect it a little bit. They're gonna back off, you know, spend their cash. They do get a couple towers for it. Relima will be able to push out the top lane as well. Yeah, getting called out not optimal obviously, but Foxnyr is still in a very comfortable lead right now with Marth being so fat. Also picking up the Bloodthirster as well, allowing him to lifesteal throughout that team fight. We've seen him drop quite low in a couple of those team fights, so that Bloodthirster could come in quite clutch as well, especially with the shield and the Mountain Soul. It's gonna make him quite tanky even.
Oh, Freeze, don't you curse it, please. Because of course I agree with you, but okay, for all the catches that we had going not in our favor, we look pretty strong on the top side now. I love the usage of the Phoenix there to, wait, excuse me, Wingborne Storm, I think? Yeah, Wingborne Storm. It's not the Phoenix anymore, true.
It will always be Phoenix Sense.
It will always be Phoenix Sense, yeah. But nope, not that anymore. So yeah, the Nash throwing a lot of pressure into this situation with the 2 cannon minions. They are slowly whittling away the health of the turret there, but now the engage will be found. Kind of, at least Frolimo. His soul was ripped out here. We are finding a lot of damage. Storm Fury dropping low. The Super Mega Death upgrade is jumping in there. Frolimo, soul caught once again. Dodge the tentacles, my friend. Dodge the tentacles, heal back up. Again, at least we have an Ocean Soul. And two, excuse me, one dragon, one stack, not the soul, because we have the Mountain Soul, of course. But yeah, bot lane wave, we can check that one out real quick. Should be shoving in, but yeah, that's rather a slow one. And then yeah, Baumi realizes, hey, what if we just do not let this one shove in? It will come down to an Elder Dragon, it seems like.
Yeah, so Foxnyr there tried to push in both top lane and mid lane at the same time. Maxi actually did find the Keeper's Verdict onto Fairy Fountain, so that got a little dicey a little bit. You know, they tried to find the fight, but were unable to crack the base. So, you know, it will be resetting for Foxnyr, you know, stacking up the control wards, new items, all that good stuff. And we're looking to prepare ourselves for a juicy Elder Dragon fight.
Obsess already a bit low, has to crack the plant open. And of course we need to look at the advantages that we have on the waves. For example, top lane should be pushing for us, yes, as a few melee minions are already down. And VfB, they know they are in a bit of a hurry here. Now the catch could be found here. Who is going down first? As long as both ADCs are alive, it is looking good. Straylex thrown out of there. The first kill goes into our favorite Blackpink fan. Will die slowly next to it. Marv in the backline. He's going for it. Marv dying though in the final moment when it was the most important. Who will win the final 3v3? And it looks like it will be Foxnyr. It was enough damage. And this is 40 seconds on most respawns. We are looking for a push on the bot lane to get an inhib and then rinse and repeat.
Yeah, Marv just went in for it. He saw that like most of the ultimates were used. The death charge was used at the start of the fight. So he just went in for it. He saw his moment. He got off a lot of damage. Was unable to finish the kills, but you know, the tanks still able to finish off what he started. And you know, we do only have the tanks left standing, so it's not going to be the fastest wave clear. And with Fairy Fountain respawning quite soon, it will just be the inhibitor, but still a massive fight, swinging away with Foxnyr. I do want to point out that before that last fight as well, Fairy Fountain did pick up the Infinity Edge, so that damage that they are going to be able to dish out is going to be substantially higher than before, and now also picking up the BS Sword, so this Jinx is going to become a little bit scary now.
Sorry, I just had to BM freeze real quick in chat.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, and
hey,
thanks
we go
to
again for round 2.
Thanks to Pigeon eSports for showing up and bringing in the hype we need it right now, because this might as well be the final fight here. Blackpink fan on the flank looking for something.
Yeah.
Jumping in there. Marv in the backline again. Can Marv survive? He's looking super low and super dead right now. But also Fairy Fountain is dead. So now it is both teams without an AC. Strelex picking one up there with the Wingborn Storm active. Maxi Thunder shoving Sartorius into the wall. Sartorius still has the Leap of Faith. This is an important one. Xerax is getting popped. The Leap of Faith being used now. Tentacles are slapping the ghosts. That means we have to wait. We have to disengage now. Baumi still looking for something here with the Kingslayer. He might have the sustain through this fight. Now Teleport is coming in for us. Blackpink fan on the hunt again. And of course we talked so much about Blackpink fan here being one of the main carries next to the ADCs. Shuriken Flip connects onto Sartorius. And this is the kill. And by the way, if we just scroll out a little bit on the bot lane, the minions are also already knocking on the door.
Yeah, both AD carries dying into that fight, so it got a little spicy in the end. Once again, Blackpink fan and Marv they kind of combined into the backline together to get that kill. Fortunately, Marv did end up falling in the process of it, but you know, the fight will go into the favor of Foxnyr. They're gonna be able to take this Elder Dragon, and with that, you know, it's gonna be so difficult for VfB to do anything in the fight. Super Mega Death Rocket, you know, it's a nice attempt, but fortunately for them, will not be stealing the Elder Dragon this time around. With the base already cracked open, you know, that's the top inhibitor ready for the taking as well. We're gonna be able to see if Foxnyr are gonna be able to force any fights with this Elder Dragon. You know, with the picks they have, you know, Frolimo can just go in with the Unstoppable Onslaught. You also have the Akali Perfect Execution, can just jump in. So we'll see how they're gonna be able to loot for these fights. But here,
oh my god, Blackpink fan! Will it just get the kill there? The shield is so strong! Storm Fury with the Locket of the Iron Solari. What a catch here, but the wrong way around. We need to find the follow-up here. Yeah, Storm Fury is looking super dead, and now the base race might as well be starting. Yeah, Fairy Fountain is dead, and now it was a 1-4-2. But Sartorius on the top lane, trying to push in there, and don't forget they do have the 6 Void Grub power on the side of VfB. But meanwhile, we're just knocking on the bottom lane front door once again. And this time it's not only super minions, but it is also 3 members of Foxnyr. And yeah, in theory, Frolimo could join as well with the teleport. Dropping in there. Wait, never mind. How did the hammer go through? Never mind. But Baumi throws away Moxie Thunder, the first turret. Dropping low. Half-life. 1/3. First turret is down. Sartorius ripping the soul out. Once again obsessed with the Cataclysm, trying to slow everything down. The advance of Foxnyr. Foxnyr, they want to win the first game. They want to put up a series of fights. And I think they should be able to do it, right? What are they deciding?
It's gonna get scary though.
Oh my god! Can
Mark
they
in the fight
finish
as well,
it? Come on!
with the
Yeah,
Elder
this is it. Come on, this is it. This is it. Come on, come on, come on. Bring it home, boys. Bring it home. It's only 3 members, Obsessed and Storm Fury in gray screen right now. Baumi jumping in there. Straylex, yes, they are getting it. They are getting all the kills. And they will wait even to get the final one. What a first game. Jesus Christ. GG's. Go over to Foxnyr.
What a banger of a game right there, especially like a massive shout out to Marv. He played insane that game. He was not afraid to step forward and go in as hard as he needed to. We've seen a multiple team fight just dash in and you know, close out these skills, and it was really a game that came down to which AD carry is going to be able to step up the most. And you know, from the laning phase on, Marv just, you know, took the step ahead, won out on the laning phase, got that beautiful dive in the early game to set himself up ahead, and then every team fight he just played fantastically, kited everything to perfection, and that has to be the difference maker in this game.
Holy cow, what a game we just saw. Guys, I need a small break, and I'll be honest here. I will just tell you, you all also need a small break. Yep, even if you don't think so. I'm a pro, okay? I'm not a therapist or something, but I'm telling you, we all need a small break. So we will be taking exactly that until the players are ready. For the second game, we will see each other in just a few minutes. You do not want to miss this best of 5, because that was just the beginning. You saw those 2 teams. They are going head to head. So see you in a few. I'm telling you guys, that was a game. Like one of the more intense games I have seen in League of Legends, and it was only the first one in this best of series. So Warlix, I want all your analysis now. Take it away.
Well, it's kind of like, starting off from the draft again, it was kind of this AD carry versus AD carry, composition. We got the tanks and the support around it. You have some assassins in the mid lane trying to assassinate the enemy AD carry, right? But the big difference, in my opinion, was that Marv got ahead in the early game, right? Same for Blackpink fan, to be honest. Also did a very good job. And on the side of VfB eSports, they had the Ilaoi, but that's not where you want to have your money, right? You want to have it on the carries, and they were unable to get that. Even though the Ilaoi was very annoying, we did see Frolimo on the sign just being annoying, just proxy farming, trying to kind of neutralize that lead that the Ilaoi had. And yeah, with that lead that Marv had in the lane, he just ran away with it. He played the team fights, very well. We had very good objective control, and yeah, they just absolutely banger team fights, banger game. Love to see it. What I'm curious about is the draft for the next game, right? Are we gonna see a similar kind of draft, or are we gonna have to protect the AD carry kind of story, or will they, maybe shy away from it and go for a different angle into this game?
I had to check out some new copy pastas, I need a lot of them for a for a best of series. You're currently the top laner for VfB, so yeah,
there we go.
Finally.
I didn't expect that. Well, I was already inspected, but apparently not. Yeah, probably a good idea that I'm not playing top lane. I'll keep it to that.
But yeah, I hope we can start into the draft in just a second. And then we will see some more action. And there we are, guys. Jumping into draft number 2. It is the first ban phase. And of course, it is Foxnyr with the 1-0 lead.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Rumble ban. We talked about it last time. Aatrox, same as last time as well. Aatrox is also like kind of strong into the top lane right now. Can be really annoying to play against. Same thing for the Rumble. Well, looks like the bans are gonna be very similar. Kalista banned as well, so these teams probably haven't done their prep work and knowing what the opponents like to play, and they just keep the bans the same. So, I mean, on the side of Foxnyr, you can't really blame them, right? It worked out really well for them last game, so why change when it's working?
Never change the running system is what you say, and we will hold true to it. I mean, the interesting part is we took blue side the first game, and now we are on blue side again. But if I'm not completely mistaken, it was VfB's choice. So yeah, on the red side, not mixing it up. I feel like sometimes if you lose a game, maybe you just want to switch it up for literally just switching it up, right?
Yeah, but so far it looks very similar, right? We got the Udyr for Strelax once again, very much comfort pick for him. Obsessed back on the Jarvan as well. We'll see if there's going to be any changes further down the line as we're looking for the second pick, and it's going to be a Kai'Sa hover. Will it be locked in?
Oh please, oh please, oh please, lock it in. This would be so much more fun to watch. Yes, it is the Kai'Sa instead of the Jinx. Now, Warlix, do you know why I love the Kai'Sa more than the Jinx? Any idea?
Well, go ahead. Share your opinion to me.
So Jinx was basically a sitting duck, right? She could not join in the way Seri could, but now look at Kai'Sa. She can go invisible and get enhanced movement speed. The most important one, she has her killer instinct, and before the fight, she can just throw her W's all over the place. So honestly, if everything is the same, it's the exact same draft, but Kai'Sa instead of Jinx, I feel like this is a huge upgrade for VfB, because Kai'Sa is so much more mobile, and I feel like it's a champion that can kind of keep up with the Udyr running at you, with the Akali jumping at you, with literally Marf on Zeri also just jumping in your face, right?
Yeah, definitely. The Killer Instinct can also be used to reposition like further backwards, right? The shields can help you, especially when you have like an Akali diving on top of you, right? Blackpink fan has found a lot of angles in those team fights and being very effective on the Akali as well. So having that Killer Instinct, that shield, and the reposition to you is very useful. And also, like you said, like the invisibility is also very handy. And Kai'Sa is also just like a very versatile pick. You can build more towards AP and just be very annoying with that long range poke, right? Or you can build more anti-tank. It's very versatile what you can do on the champion. So that's definitely going to help out. And we're going to also see the Ziggs locked in, classic champion that can just very easily clear out all those waves. Push out the tower. So we're gonna see if VfB are gonna be able to use this Ziggs in the early game to gain all those towers with the satchel that's able to instantly delete the tower as well. We'll see how they're gonna be able to manage that.
So of course in the early game you could also consider throwing Kai'Sa into mid lane and swapping Ziggs onto bot lane. Like until we are in the game, we do not know where those two champions want to go. Kai'Sa, yeah, it's one of those classic ADCs that we saw a lot in mid lane as well. I think. Oh, have you seen the static Shiv Ari Kai'Sa LeBlanc meta where they literally went for the AD build and Kai'Sa was basically the solution to it? So even then, like way back, Kai'Sa was an okay to like even good mid laner. So I would be so hyped to see Kai'Sa mid. Okay, that's all I want to say. There I am. That's my statement.
Yeah, I remember Static Shiv LeBlanc and balancing nightmare that was, and the amount of patch notes we got on that stuff.
Oh yeah, baby.
Yeah, even nowadays, Kai'Sa mid lane has been played a little bit as one of those many ADCs that we see in the mid lane. So yeah, we're gonna also see Marth back on the Sari. I mean, why not, right? It worked out so well. So far, Foxnyr are just saying, hey, we like their team comp. It worked for us. We're just gonna rock it again. So far, no changes unless they wanna change the last couple picks. No, there we go. We got the Cyan as well. So for Limo, we're gonna see him, run around top lane again. Do a little proxy farming, just be annoying as possible. And yeah, he did a very good job on that last game.
Okay, so now if this was... okay, it is now Loltl, okay? I think... Oh, the Braum was banned last time. This time the Poppy's banned, so we have to go for something different. But yeah, Braum is a really good fit into the Thresh. I don't know if we want to see the Eloy again. Because I feel like the Eloy last game was just out-mobilitied a little bit, if you know what I mean. She didn't have enough stationary enemies that like jump into her. And she could just freely slap them with the tentacles to heal back up. But it will be another answer. Because in theory, it's like the Cyan and the Udyr. Those are two champions that, again, in theory, should be really good. Like the Eloy against them should be really good. But it didn't really work out last game, even though Eloy got ahead in the early game.
Yeah, I think just most of it comes down to Marth just running around and just destroying everyone, right? Everything was onto the AD carries in those fights, and Illaoi is very strong in the laning phase, so we're probably gonna see a similar story where the Illaoi is gonna kind of bully out the Cyan. We're probably gonna see some more proxy farming, but let's have a look at the differences, right? We're gonna see the Ziggs coming into the mid lane, Baumi stepping away from the Sylas, and we're also gonna see the Kai'Sa and the Thresh. Now, Thresh is like one of those champions where, you have a lot of outplay potential. We have the Mad Life Hooks classic one, right? But, compared to Nautilus, he just has to, I press ultimate on you and you're now knocked up. So for Marth, probably, like, if he can, dodge out on those death sentences, it's going to be a bit easier to navigate those team fights. But yeah, we'll have to see how that's going to go, if Marth is going to be able to get that early lead again like last game.
Yeah, it is, of course, kind of a similar draft. They were hovering the game playing for top lane as well. I would have preferred that, honestly, because then you can just play around the other side of the map. So maybe if Foxnyr win again, then VfB has to change it up a little bit more. I also, of course, I love the approach. If you win it, you get the same side even. Just go again, If it just worked, just do it again. Because the enemy is forced to change something. We are basically left with the same team comp, while on the other side, VfB, they did change up a little bit more on the mid lane and the bot side. Kaiser, Ziggs, and Fresh are the picks that they brought to the table. We have the exact same, except for the Poppy, because yeah, that was banned. I can understand it. The keeper's verdict was really, really annoying. And this time, I feel like though VfB, they are playing a bit of a poke ranged approach. Do you think they have a better draft this time?
I mean, they definitely have like a different angle they can use, right? They have the, like you said, they have the poke on the Kaiser and the Ziggs. So this is gonna force Foxnyr more to go for the engage themselves, and maybe in some cases, in scenarios where you don't really want to, and you kind of feel forced to, that you have to engage, because otherwise you're gonna just get poked down. So we're gonna have to see how this poke is gonna come into fruition throughout this game, and if Foxnyr is gonna be able to force the fights that they want to.
Exactly. This time we have to fight against a bit more range stuff. Even then though, I feel like not having the Poppy really fits us. Again, because it's less melee stuff. It's, you know, no more Sylas mid lane that jumps into your face and you can hammer him out. So he's gone and not a big concern for a few seconds. This time it is Kaiser on range, just pressing W. Ziggs on range, pressing, well, all the buttons, all the bombs, you know. We have this bomb, that bomb, and another bomb, and a really big bomb, and then some small bombs. And yeah, Ziggs, just a great character if you really want to go crazy, and if you really like throwing bombs, you know. Throwing TNT, a martial art, if it works, right? Something like that was the old sketch. And we will go into the loading screen.
Yeah, also something to keep track of is going to be Fairy Fountain's build, right? If it's going to be like, I mean, I'm not too familiar with Kaiser build, but something like the Ginsu's Rage Blade into like maybe a Death Cap, maybe a Zhonya's even if they want to go for the full poke build. Or maybe like a different build, right? Kaiser's like one of those champions you can literally build any item on. Right, we have seen the Hill of Blades. It is actually Hill of Blades of Fairy Fountain, so that's quite interesting. Usually used for the lethality build. So we're going to keep track on that Kaiser build throughout the game. Will be very interesting to see where that's going to head
to. We are in the second game, guys. On the red side, it is VfB. And on the blue side, with the blue Nexus hailing from Switzerland, it is the Swiss orc Foxnyr playing with a bit of a special lineup. Because it is, of course, in between the seasons, so we have not fully found our 100% official lineup yet. But hey, we need some players, so who better to have than our favorite players here, Frollimos, Raylex, the Blackpink fan, Marv, and Maxi, the CEO of Foxnyr himself.
The one and only. This time rocking out the Braum. Last time it was the Poppy. We did see him play Braum last time around, went pretty well, if I remember correctly. So we'll see if they keep that up. I'm going to be very interested to see how Blackpink fan is going to manage the mid lane, because, you know, it's like a very swinging mid lane matchup, I would imagine, because, you know, if Akali gets on top of the Ziggs, you know, it's kind of GG. But the Ziggs lane, if he plays it from range, then it's very annoying to deal with as the Akali if you cannot catch the Ziggs off guard, right? So we're actually going to see a little bit of trading in the early game already, and Blackpink fan getting a decent trade here, I would say.
So look, I would agree with everything if Doran's Shield didn't exist, because that item is certainly an item of all times in League of Legends currently. It's also a reason why stuff like Yon, however you want to pronounce it, is viable into range matchups, right? Or again, Akali versus Ziggs is something you can play. Because again, if you even go for the you know, the green off tree, then you have a ton of sustain, and the D shield is the main one though. Just helps you so hard.
I did just check to confirm Blackpink fan is running the second wind, which you were talking about. So
yes,
it's kind of like a little baby Doran Shield passive, right? So the sustain will be helping out a lot playing this melee matchup into such an annoying poke mage like Ziggs, right? But yeah, like I said, you know, if Blackpink fan ever gets on top of that Ziggs, it's gonna be very dangerous for Baumi. And then other than that, you know, you just keep throwing bombs, right? You get the Lost Chapter, you're never gonna run out of mana, and you kind of just have fun with it. Keep throwing bombs. That's all you do.
Yeah, and so far, it looks like we're playing the same game again, right? No, never mind. This time, Blackpink Fan is even ahead a little bit in CS in the mid lane, or at least super even. That. But yeah, Baui might have the range, but he doesn't have a Kingslayer. And honestly, I feel like that is a big advantage. Even Warcode in the chat, Timo, is talking about the mid lane matchup and even agrees like, hey, I wouldn't mind being Dog Collie in that matchup. It's actually very decent.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure it was mentioned last week that Blackpink Fan is also like an Akali main one-trick pony, something like that. So very efficient on the champion. It's definitely one of those skill champions where you want to have a lot of games. There we go, we get the Ignite, the gang coming in, but the Lantern, the savior of Fairy Fountain. So that'll be called away on the side of Foxnyr. Nice attempt though. Now we're gonna see Obsess trying to invade the top side jungle, but we will find out that that is completely clear. Strelax did go for that full clear on his side. So it's going to be the reset instead, and yeah, we're going to see a similar story on the top lane, right? This Illaoi is just so annoying. We can see these tentacles. It's just very annoying to deal with for Frolimo. But you know, at some point they will probably go back to that proxy farming like we saw last game as well.
Yeah, if you walk up to the minions, it's basically trading sensing 101, right? And I think everybody in chat knows what it is, but just in case you don't, you shall always throw your abilities on top of the enemy when he goes for a last hit. And if you look at Sion, he has a thick ass hitbox and it's really obvious when he wants to go for a last hit. So whenever he walks forward, you just again drag his soul out of his body and you get a ton of free poke. So yeah, that is why I feel like the Eloy matchup was chosen again, so just you have a matchup that is for sure pressuring on the top lane, and that is what it looks like right now. But we also chose that matchup again because we saw, even though Eloy last game was looking pretty good herself on the top lane, it did not win the game.
Yeah, we're gonna see if Sartorius is gonna be able to build a similar lead like last time, and if he's going to be able to, you know, contribute more towards the game, if he's going to be able to snowball that lead, unlike he was able to do last game, because Marth was just too OP. We also got the Cole being bought on Marth, actually got a cheat base in, seems like it, as Fairy Fountain has not been able to recall just yet, so we got that small advantage in the bot lane, as the Cole will be stacking over for Marth, so, you know, that little bit of extra cash already going Marth's way to carry this game.
Yeah, it is basically advanced investment banking, what we are seeing here by Marth. I'm a bit sad we aren't like sponsored by DKB or something, because else we could make a lot of jokes here. But has to be Foxnyr for now, you know, normal eSports org. It is not Intel Foxnyr yet or something, but you know, if you're looking to sponsor this wonderful org, we might as well, you know, get something going. So. You know, tell your friends, tell your uncles, you know. Uncle Ben's hillbilly shop, you know, we gladly take this as a sponsor, I think, at least. Don't sue me, okay, I don't know for sure. Oh, meanwhile, wait a second, Blackpink Fan is really looking for something here. Just making sure that Obsess can not get near this Hextech Dragon.
Yeah, meantime, Obsess will just head towards the Grubs in the top lane. You know, once again, that pressure from Sartorius in the lane is just going to allow those Grubs to be taken by Obsess, and the Hextech Soul will be once again taken by Foxnyr. So, very similar game as last time, like you said before as well. Blackpink Fan actually managing to keep control of his mid lane as well with the sustain that we talked about earlier. You know, let's keep it up and farm. He's not falling behind in this melee versus ranged matchup. So it's mostly, you know, the top side, the Illaoi once again ahead in farm, just like last game. So it's going to be on Sartorius to see if he can snowball that lead into more than last game. And in the meantime, we're going to be holding out an eye on the bot lane as well. See if Marth is going to be able to find a similar lead as last time. Maybe a gank, once again a tower dive, you know. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, that's so annoying. Strelax getting bullied out of his own jungle there. Really well played on the smite though. That's an important one. You want to hit level 6 as fast as possible if you are a level behind Obsess there. Obsess, of course, already having the Cataclysm available. Strelex is looking strong as well, though, even though he's a bit behind on farm. Doesn't really matter too much, right? I feel like, again, it's the same story. If Blackpink Fan and Marv are looking strong, then those two can completely take over the game. If Frolimo and Strelex and Moxie Thunder are hurting a little bit and are not as rich as the other two, it is completely according to plan.
Yeah, similar as last game, we just have the carries that are the most important in this game. So Sartorius is gonna have to find a way to find his impact. And this game, I feel like, you know, Obsess is hovering more towards his top side, getting wards into the enemy jungle. As you can see on the top side, there's that beautiful ward in the top side jungle, and that's gonna allow VfB to get a bit more information on where Strolhex is headed towards. We saw that in Invade play as well, so they're playing a little bit more of this pressure from the Alawi, other than just taking their groups.
Yeah, and we can also mention in the last game, by this point, we already had the first blood for Sartorius, and this time, yeah, Frolimo said, hey, go again, give me the Cyan. I will be weak side, but I will soak up the damage. And so far, he's just a little bit behind in gold. Yeah, I mean, we can show it real quick, right? We can see that is basically about 1 kill, but with that CS lead, that had to be expected. But meanwhile, the ADCs completely even, mid lane completely even, and I think that favors us just fine.
Yeah, I think compared to last game, right, we did get that tower dive from Blackpink Fan and Marv, and I think Strelex was there as well as a 4-man dive, if I remember correctly, on the bot side around this time to get Marv ahead. So this time it's not happening so far. Perhaps you will see it later on. But now that the AD carries are a bit more even, you know, the mid game is going to be a bit more spicier, as Foxnyr is going to have to find their advantages elsewhere. Speaking of dice, Obsess is moving into the bot lane, has swept out all these bushes, but seems to just be hovering in case there was going to be a gank coming in. So just looking for a counter gank, but Strelex is on the top side, so looks like it's just going to be the reset instead. No action. Very, you know, kind of peaceful game so far.
Yeah, but I have to throw it back to you really quick, because I'm not too sure here. Baumi and Fairy Fountain, they have insane scaling. Even if Fairy Fountain is free to build whatever they want. So it could be a Zonios in the later stages, right? And that could be a real big problem for Blackpink Fan, you know, trying to assassinate Fairy Fountain. So I'm not really too sure. Do we like nothing happening in the early game, or I think it's hard to tell.
I think it is quite difficult to tell. I do think like the Cyan is going to be a lot more... Oh, speaking of Cyan, Frolimo a bit in trouble right now.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure knowing you, Frolimo. So yeah, we do have that similarity between the last game. You know, Frolimo going for that proxy farm again, being called out. But, you know, we've seen it work last game. It looks a little rough, you know, because you die a lot early game. But, you know, it's an investment into your late game. And, you know, it will end up working out. This time, though, we're going to be contesting the grubs. Even though Frolimo just died, we're going to see the rotation up towards the top lane. And there will be no contest. The Cataclysm was used by Obsess to get that kill, so we'll not be having that. The flag and drag into the pit. Have to flash out. Not aware that Foxnyr was on the grubs. Now they are aware though, but it's a little too late. And the grubs will be secured by Foxnyr. And now they're trying to get the reply on the dragon, but the setup is not there yet. And Foxnyr is gonna allow to respond. He'll be able to clear out this mid wave in the meantime. We're gonna see Obsess has been able to reset back into base, able to buy some items. He's gonna have the Sundered Sky, so that's a nice spike on the Jarvan. And now we're gonna see this little fight for the dragon, right? Cleared out the mid wave. Now Foxnyr is looking for that vision control in the bot lane. We're gonna see VfB moving in as well, trying to contest that a little bit. But so far, it's gonna be Foxnyr keeping control over that mid wave, and perhaps we'll see them start the dragon soon as well.
Midwave is getting eaten by both teams, but yeah, as you said, Foxnyr is a little bit faster. The vision is looking just as good as it should from both teams, though, you know, if we compare that now, can we maybe find something? The bomb will be strong. Satori is also jumping in here. The first kill will go over to Herfy. Support for support here. Marv also dead, doesn't find anything. Blackpink Fan getting slapped here And this is just what Sartorius picked the Eloy for. The teleport advantage was too much here. And suddenly it is a good lead for our friends over at VfB.
Yeah, that teleport makes a huge difference because it kind of makes, you know, Foxnyr feel like they have to fight forward. Because if you go backward, you're gonna just be greeted by an Ilaoi, right? And you don't really fancy your chances against that. Now Skrillex, perhaps in a little bit of trouble. Alright, we'll get the shield. It'll be safe for now. We're gonna see a teleport from our side. Blackpink Fang teleporting in.
Oh, Moxie connected here. We want that kill here. It's a bit of a forced play, but it will work out just fine in the end. Blackpink Fan getting the kill in the mid lane with the teleport. Dropping quite low, having to reset instantly again. But it is a kill after all, so we take those. We are still behind a little bit in the gold department though.
Yeah, with the bot lane being towards mid as well, it's gonna allow Fairy Fountain and Hofi just to push out this bot lane, getting all the plays as well. So, not sure if that play is too worth gold-wise, especially with Obsess just clearing out that mid wave is gonna deny Marth to get much damage onto that mid lane tower. So yeah, I think overall gold-wise, that's actually probably worth it for VfB eSports.
Yeah, might be true after all, but I also think you don't mind the lanes getting a bit longer. That allows you to flank a little bit better. Talking about flanking, Frolimo, just fighting for dear life. By the way, I just have to mention, the Chemtech map, of course, really favors this proxy style, because the blast cones in the jungle are just that much better to get your way out of there. The better honey fruits in the river also favor you to just sustain back up and go once more. And of course the better Scry Bloom plants also help you, get the vision out there. So I actually really like the map that we have going for us here.
Yeah, it will definitely be interesting to see if Blackpink Fan is going to be able to find those sick engages with the upgraded blast gun, right? The extra range on that, you can find some very cool engages on that, but for now, we're gonna see Sartorius almost getting the tower, just not quite yet, but they'll probably be finished quite soon as well. Herald will be up on the map, but it seems like no interest for that so far. Blackpink Fan is gonna be able to catch out Fairy, but
nope.
Backup is there, so he decides to dip out for now.
It just shows us how good this fresh pick is. It is not as straightforward as the Nautilus like last game, but it is a way better all-rounder. The Lantern has been insanely strong so far, just saving Fairy Fountain a ton of times. I mean, of course Fairy Fountain wouldn't just die if there was no fresh, but it allowed Fairy Fountain to play that much more aggressive and forward and in the face of the opposition, right? So I have to give it over to VfB. The fresh pick really works out great so far. I really like it.
Yeah, it's made a huge difference so far. We kind of talked a little bit about it in the draft, and talk about the death sentence, how strong it can be. But yeah, you're completely right. So far, it's been a Lantern that has saved, Fairy Fountain quite a lot of times in his laning phase as well. In the meantime, we see Frolima once again having a little fun in the top lane.
Eating the wave.
Yep. We're 60 minutes into this game, and let's have a little checkup on the Kai'Sa build, because we do see it's gonna be that poke build with the Manamune and the Luden's Companion, so it is gonna be full poke, which is gonna have to force Foxnyr to go for an engage. And speaking of an engage, Fairy Fountain being called out right here.
Oh yeah, you don't even want to invest anything. The barrier sadly invested, because at this point you are just omega dead. You're like not one leg in the grave, but it's basically everything up to your head, buried in the grave, basically. Once the Akali and the Udyr are in your face. That was just a beautiful catch there.
Yeah, we're gonna see a little bit of a split map. Foxnyr being focused towards the bot side, right? They get the kill, they got the first bot tower, but on top side they will be traded by Sartorius. And the Herald also being picked up by Obsessed, but they get this tier 2 tower, and that is a lot of money that is going to be able to pick up if they can secure it. Unfortunately, they won't be able to. Baumi was also able to use that Mega Inferno Bomb to clear out the wave, so that's also one of the perks of Ziggs, right? Having that huge long-range wave clear tool in your pocket. But now that we have a little bit of time before this dragon spawns, I want to kind of talk about the Kai'Sa build once again, because obviously you do have that insane poke damage from a long range, but if Foxnyr is going to be able to get the engage onto Fairy Fountain, you don't have the attack speed that a normal Kai'Sa build would have, right? So it's a lot more difficult to kill tanks in a fast manner like other Kai'Sa builds would be able to do so. So it really is in the hands of Foxnyr if they can find that engage onto Fairy Fountain before the poke damage is too big. In the meantime, Herald will be securing that mid lane tower. Foxnyr will be able to respond in time, and Frolimo is just having a party in the top lane.
Frolimo on top lane. He flashes over the wall and Sartorius will flash straight after him. He thinks he can get out of this one. I don't know if you can. Will not find the knock-up. Sartorius read him like a book there. But again, Frolimo wasting a lot of time, and as soon as the zombie mode is over, he will have half a minute of cooldown until he's back up. And Dragon is up. I don't know if you want to give that up. Teleport is coming. Now it is a 4 versus 5. Can we get enough impact? Blackpink fan in the shroud, but super low. Straylex also will die now. And this game so far looks like in the important moments it goes the way of VfB.
Yeah, the gold lead just too far for VfB right now. This time around we did not get the early lead on Marth, and they weren't able to snowball anything off the back of that. They do have a couple picks on Blackpink fan, right? He's 2-1. But it's a lot more difficult when you don't have a mega fat AD carry on your side as well. We're gonna see Frolimo once again going back to top lane duty, just clearing out waves. It's gonna be Baumi that has to deal with that for now. With that fight won, it is gonna be VfB picking up that Infernal Dragon as well. Actually not Infernal, Chemtech Drake, excuse me.
Yes.
But yeah, it's gonna be a 5k gold lead for VfB already, so it's very, it's kind of getting out of hand there for Foxy.
I'm wondering, at what point do you just go for the Cyan split push suicide threat here? Of course, everybody has heard of Baus at one point or another. You know, the 0-20 Cyan man that yeah, just wins anyways because he just suicides for a bit of tower damage, and maybe you get to the critical point. To be fair, in competitive gaming it is way more structured and everybody is way more disciplined. No, or let's say almost no random fights. So yeah, then it is way easier to punish a strategy like that, but who knows, maybe it will be kind of the last resort. For now we have a lot of... Oh, never mind! This is a free kill here and this might just turn around everything. Perfy will also maybe die. The blast cone could helps him to jump all the way over there. When do you stop chasing? Moxie Thunder's like, come on guys, we can get that one. But no, Perfy will get away. But still, really good pick.
Yeah, the Ultra Shock Laser from Marth cancelled out the recall from Fairy Fountain and allowed that pick to happen, so, you know, really close window, but Foxnyr find it and they get the pick on the Fairy Fountain, which is going to allow them to have a little bit of control, but there's just nothing up on the map right now. You can't really do the Baron, you just don't have the resources for it, so it's going to be the mid wave instead, but, you know, what are you going to do? There's the Ziggs that clears out all the waves in seconds, so it is going to be the pick, but it's going to be very difficult for Foxnyr to find much more.
Well, meanwhile, Sartorius in the good old 1v1 against Frolimo again. And I feel like this is one that will sadly never go into the favor of Cyan. That's what I mean with infinite scaling as well, right? You can probably be, I don't know, 50 minutes into the game, but still you will not have enough HP to out-sustain Sartorius. Yes, it will take a bit longer to kill the Cyan, but you know, Sartorius with strong items as well already, with the armor shred, really good against tanks, really good against the front line, knows what the job of the Eloy is.
Yeah, I do feel like at some point Frolimo is gonna get, you know, tanky enough that it's just not worth for Sartorius to do anything about it, right? You just have to slap a Cyan for like 2 minutes straight to get the kill. Well, but for now, yeah. Sartorius is just so far ahead that, you know, that's just not the case, right? The Black Cleaver helping out immensely as well. It's very easy to stack on the Alawi. But yeah, Frolimo will just continue to be annoying and push out every wave he can. Create a little bit of pressure for Foxnyr on the side lanes, even if it will cost him his life. You know, I think it's still worth it, especially on the Cyan. You get so much value out of, you know, pushing out all those minion waves with your W passive. Yeah, we got a little dance around the mid lane and the Baron, looking for some vision control. You know, it's a classic Baron dance, as we like to call it, right? But VfB eSports being ahead, they get to move into the jungle, they get these deep wards. You know, Sartorius still has the teleport, so if Foxnyr do, you know, decide to challenge this Baron, you know, we could see like a flank teleport coming in for Sartorius. But for now, he is stuck with Frolimo, having some fun in the side lane.
I wonder if it's ever worth it to go for a Warmox actually, because then you can basically go down to 1 HP, wait for the next wave, and you're more or less full life again, so that would be a fun one, wouldn't it? But then again, you get a ton of HP from just your passive already, so why just, you know, get another ton of HP stat stick in your inventory? While, yeah, inventory space is limited, so that's a weird one. You can see it now though, yeah, we're talking about how at one point Frolimo might as well just be too tanky, but he struggles to clear the waves a little bit. And I also get how he doesn't want them to get near the turret, because if he does, then Sartorius will be able to put some chip damage on the turret, and that's also something that you don't want to happen.
Yeah, but you kind of see how Frolimo is just, you know, pulling out everything to kind of keep Sartorius in the bot lane, keeping him away from the turret. Because that's where most of the gold is still at. We don't have a fat AD carry or anything like that like last game. But, you know, without Sartorius in the team fight and keeping him away, you know, you kind of give the biggest chance to Foxnyr as you possibly can. You know, Blackpink Fan is still 2-1 on this Akali. Still has, you know, a decent amount of CS. Marth actually CSing really well. 256 CS onto that Zeri, so... You know.
Yeah, more than 10 per minute. The fight could be now breaking out. Marth is on the top flank, and even both top laners involved. Who will fall first? The decimating smash was really finding anything. Now we're jumping in there. It is the choke point, and all the tentacles doing so much. It is just a triple in a second. Everybody died. Marth has to flash out to stay alive. Excuse me, I said stay alive. Sartorius like, no, nobody will stay alive except for Frolimo, and he is on the bot lane again. What went wrong here?
Yeah, something, Ilawi and choke points.
Ah, man, yeah.
Yeah, it looked very good at the start because, you know, Foxnyr were able to stay grouped up together, but once that Ilawi had its impact, you know, with the leap of faith, and there was just so many tentacles that just way too much damage. And yeah, like we said, the Ilawi is just very far ahead because of the natural laning phase that you have, right? Be able to lane bully the Sion the whole time, farming everything in the side lanes. You know, Frolimo will be able to get one tower at least, but you know, what is it really worth? You get 700 gold, I think it is, on your Sion. That's, you know, not that big of an issue for VfB. They get the Baron buff, they get the control, they have the poke on the Ziggs and the Kai'Sa. You know, with the satchel on the Ziggs as well, you can take these towers really, really fast as well. So, you know, VfB looking to balloon their gold lead even further. Right now, they're 7k gold ahead of Foxnyr eSports.
7k gold ahead, indeed, and that is a big number, especially considering that you are playing against Poke, and when you are behind against Poke, and yeah, how do you counter that? Well, you have to engage, right? But they're ahead, you don't want to engage into them. They have Nash, you don't want to engage into them. Trying to hold this turret, it is already a bit of a risky move. Will Frolimo be able to get out of here? He will eat a lot of damage, that is for sure. And he will, beautiful input buffer there with the ult for the death sentence, but still, it is a lot of resources lost. I love how we are still getting some resources out of those plays, though. Marth in the 1v1 with Sartorius, while Akali, Blackpink Fan, is teleporting back to base.
Yeah, it's gonna be the flank teleport coming in from Blackpink Fan. So this is gonna be the engage that Foxnyr is looking for. Let's see what Blackpink Fan can find.
Ooh, the death sentence though was perfect. The vision was there, and we found absolutely nothing except for death and despair. And a literal death sentence again. Herfy on this Thresh, just looking absolutely unstoppable here. Well played by VfB so far, and I think we have to call it. This game should go over to them. Of course, maybe we can see a miracle here in this fight. Marth is still alive, and as long as our 2.5 item ADC can still make some magic happen, it could be a possibility, but nope! The tentacles just slapping away, whittling away the health bar of our Foxnyr squad. And this time it is a 3-15, and we basically got this best of 5 just reduced into a best. of 3.
Yeah, it's gonna take a couple more games to figure out who is gonna come out on top in this banger of a best of 5. Very interesting game, that one. Very similar in a lot of ways to the first one, but also very different this time around. You know, we didn't get that early dive in the bot lane. We didn't get Marth ahead in those team fights, and this time it's gonna be VfB coming out ahead in this game.
Yeah, we will talk a bit more about it while the NEF draft is going on, so we all head into a short break until then. I hope you stay tuned because, man, I'm excited to see what direction this one is going. It is a maximum of 3 games, but who knows, maybe somebody just wins the next 2. And don't forget, the winner of this game is qualified for the main event of the PRM-Pokal or PRM Trophy. So we want to see how this one evolves, you know, Kaiser, something, evolving, something. Maybe they go for it again. Maybe they ban it. We will talk about it just after the short break. See you and catch you then. Hello everybody and welcome to today's matchup, Foxnyr versus VfB. This is a best of 3 series, and of course it's not only me It is also Warlix in here. Warlix, are you hyped for this best of 3 matchup and the first game coming up? Because we haven't seen anything so far, of course, and you know where I'm heading, right? So
yeah, I truly wonder what they're gonna pick these coming games. Wonder what we're gonna get to see. No, but jokes aside, these 2 games have been absolute bangers. Both teams have kind of shown what they're made of, what they can do. First game we had Marv, just absolutely steamrolled that game on the Sari. The second game, kind of saw the adjustment, a little bit more poke for VfB eSports, and the Ilawi pick just finally getting the shining light in those team fights. So we're gonna see if there are gonna be any further adjustments coming into this third game. Maybe we're gonna get rid of the Cyan, perhaps, changing up that top lane matchup. Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
Maybe, but that's the annoying reality right now. We are not side swapping again, which means we will have to blind pick at least something. Maybe VfB decides to pick top lane earlier, who knows? But so far we always had to blind pick top lane, and it's always a bit annoying, right? Do you blind pick, I don't know, Ornn, and then you get a Trundle locked into it that will just jump at him and have the side lane domination, or maybe a Fiora into it. It's always a bit a tough one. I like with Cyan, you cannot really pick too many split pushers into it, even though mentioning it, Fiora would also be a beautiful pick into that one. But hey, I have an idea, Warlix. What if I just stop yapping and rambling? And what if we look at the actual draft? Because hey, we are just there.
Hey, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, we're gonna once again see that Brimble band. I would imagine the bands are gonna be quite similar as the first 2 games. Both teams kind of happy with their prep work. With the bands they're putting out. We'll see if there's gonna be any changes down the line, but. So far, more of the same. Brimble out, Kalista out, Aatrox out. What else did we have? We had the Jhin, the LeBlanc, yeah, and the Draven, if I was not mistaken, on the side of Foxnyr.
Yeah.
So far, it's more of the same. It's gonna be this Jarvan this time. Obsess has been playing that both games, right? Has found his impact with the Cataclysms. So he will be taken away from Obsess. We'll see what he's gonna change into. But yeah, we're gonna see the Jhin ban coming through the final for VfB. So they keep their bans the same. Frelimo once again locking in that Udyr for himself.
What about that Jhin ban, by the way? I really don't get it, but hey, maybe I'm just weird like that. I don't think Jhin is just insanely strong or something, but again, maybe I'm just wrong, who knows? Maybe I'm just completely out of the meta loop. And okay, so far we get the 6 even earlier, and okay, a huge mix-up this time. It is not just going to be a blind Jarvan again, it is going to be the Skarner, and the reworked Skarner has kind of an interesting history, right, Warlix?
I mean, as far as I know, Skarner was kind of mega broken when he got the rework, right? We saw a lot of Skarner in pro play, and then he kind of got nerfed, and now he's kind of like left stranded in the please give me a buff kind of category. But he's still kind of decent, very strong. Especially, if you consider like the type of team comps that these teams have been playing, where it's all about the AD carry. If you are the Skarner and you get that pick off with your ultimate, you kind of solo win the team fight right there and then. In a way, it's kind of similar like with the Jarvan, right? You're trying to look to pick off the AD carry with your combo. The flag and wreck into Cataclysm, Skarner, you can just go through the wall, use your ultimate. So you kind of have like a similar kind of theory behind the pick, right? So we'll see how effective Obsess is going to be able to be on this pick.
I mean, if it is Obsess on it, because it could, in theory, also be on kind of every lane. Okay, every lane is a bit of a stretch, but it could be top lane as well into certain matchups. So it is kind of a flex pick. But of course, traditionally, this Skarner has always been a jungle pick. Now though, on the rework, we have seen him kind of trade everywhere, right? So I also know a lot of big fans have been a bit disappointed because he feels a bit clunkier to play. But of course, I'm also glad, it's not just a suppression impale bot anymore, where you're just, every 5 minutes I can flash into the enemy team, I can impale somebody and drag him into his death. Oh, they all bought QSS now. Well, now I'm basically just a bullet sponge. I can just walk up and tank some hits, and that's all I do. No, now Skarner actually got some layers. But he is a bit clunkier, right? He has some more impact, to be honest. I personally feel like he can go through walls, you know. Who's Kane, you know, when you can be a Scorpion. And he can impale multiple people, so yeah. Just in case you have forgotten about him, that was the rework talked about a little bit. Now we will see a ton of top lane bans and the fresh ban. I'm actually a big fan of the fresh ban because I feel like, man, that's just too much utility on just one champion.
Yeah, hopefully was able to have a lot of impact with the Lantern in the early game as well. And in his final team fight, the death sentence was a literal death sentence for Blackpink fan on that teleport flank. So he had a lot of impact on that pick, so it's going to be banned away from him. This game, we're going to actually see another AD carry coming through. This time the Varus coming through for Fairy Fountain. And we're going to be picking up the Jinx ourselves instead of the Sari. So interesting to see that Marv is moving away from that Sari that we have been looking in the first 2 games. Hopefully no lethality Jinx this time around. I guess we'll have to keep track of that one throughout the game. Once again, the Akali as well for Blackpink fan, right? We talked about it.
I wouldn't hate it, honestly. I think it would be decent-ish. Because if you can just one-shot the Varus, you can one-shot the Ziggs on range, with a zap, 2 auto attacks or something, with the rocket launcher, with Pow Pow. Fishbones, Pow Pow. Hit them a few times. And then super, mega, ultra lethality, big boom death rocket or something. Actually, the name upgrades if you go lethality, then it's not just a super mega death rocket anymore. Then it's like a, at least 10 words have to fit in there. Because it hurts so much. Like, it's insane what the scaling actually does. And did I ever mention that I played a bit of Amumu on the Turkish server?
I have not heard about your Amumu adventures, no?
No, but Amumu, one of my favorite champions. You can play him even a bit on a higher ping. Fun fact, Beste Bes is a pentakill, I think, on Turkish, and Dörte Dört is a quadra-kill on Turkish. That's all I remember. Because I was, of course, penta and quadra-killing all the damn time. Because I'm just good like that. Yeah. It wasn't Marv playing with me and carrying me over there. No, it was all me on the Amumu. But no. Talking about it, Max Defender on Amumu, I like. That's my point.
You went for the full AP Amumu on the Turkish server to get those pentakills?
No, full lethality.
Full lethality Amumu.
Opportunity and... didn't even exist back then, but hey. Just to keep it spicy. No, but Amumu is also a phenomenon. He got his bandage toss changed. So he has like 2 charges of it. And yeah, now suddenly you can play him in the jungle and on support. So why not look at him on the support position a little bit, right?
Yeah, for sure. Very strong champion in the support position. Like I said, with the 2 Q charges, it's very oppressive with his engages. But yeah, just looking at these team comps, I'm very interested to see that, we swap away from the Kai'Sa, we swap away from the Zeri, we get the Jinx and the Varus now. So we do see like a couple of changes here and there, but if you look in general at these team composition, it's just, I feel like it's just kind of like game 1 and 2 over again, right? You have like a couple supportive / engaging tanks on your top jungle support, and then you have the assassin in the mid lane. Baumi once again just picking up the Ziggs and not going for the Silas like in game 1. And then you have your AD carries that are looking to carry the fights. So yeah, the drafts, even though the champions are different, the kind of the fairy and the win condition that you have behind your team composition is still very much the same. So once again, we're going to be looking towards the mid and bot lane and seeing if these AD carries can get themselves ahead.
Yeah, not too much to add, honestly. I don't know, again, what to think about the Eloy. I hope Foxnyr smashes them and then they pick something else, because honestly, I'm a bit done with seeing Eloy on the top lane. I think I don't know, it's a weird pick. I don't really like to see it too much, but I mean, if it works, you just keep going, right? If it works, then just keep up the winning strat. We talked about it from game 1 on. But this time it's not the Cyan, it is the K-Sante against the Eloy, and I hope he stands more of a chance. I mean, you know, we all know the meme, you know, 327 armor, unstoppable by the way, yada yada yada, knock up 0 point something seconds scaling with, you know, look it up if you don't know it. You can literally find it in the Discord GIFs, for example, if you just write in K-Sante meme or something like that. But yeah, now for the differences, this time it is the Varus on bot lane. No more Kai'Sa shenanigans. Yeah, you say GIF, don't you? Do you say GIF?
I say GIF.
You say GIF?
Yes. But yeah, you know, we kind of like talked a little bit about it as well during the break, right? The Cyan versus Ulawi matchup has just been a strong point for VfB eSports in both games, really. You know, in the first game, it wasn't able to snowball as much, you know, because we have Marv just being mega fat for us. But the second game, it definitely shined through a lot more in those team fights with the tentacles just having so much impact. So, you know, for Limo, switching out the Cyan and going towards another weak side top laner, K'Sante is just like the main pick that you see in all the regions being played K'Sante all the time, right? Next to the Renekton is also a very popular one, but you know, we have seen Frelimo last week as well being very effective on this pick.
Yeah. Absolutely. DK Sante. Just really strong. Nothing more to add, honestly. The 6 worked out really well as well so far, even though we did have some angles. So yeah, I feel like the interesting ones are, it's not Nautilus anymore, the Thresh was banned, now instead we have the Leona. Like the supports are the only ones that look like they really, you know, they want some change. It's the only thing. Yeah, Infernal Amumu. I like it though. I think it's the change that we maybe need. And then at the same time again, it is Foxnyr on the jungle position for our friend Obsess. So this is also a lot of change, and at the same time it feels like the same game over again.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna see like a lethality coming through the Varus as well on the Fairy Fountain. Since we saw the Pokal last game, it would not surprise me if we see a lethality Varus coming in this game. But yeah, you know, we did talk about that all-important bot lane dive that we got in the first game that caught Marv ahead. In the second game, we were unable to find that lead, but perhaps on Maxi Thunder, on this Amumu, you have so much lockdown, right? The double charges on the Q, and you have the Curse of the Sepnami is such a strong ability as well. So perhaps with that change compared to the Braum, right, with the actual lockdown, perhaps we can find the engage that we need.
Now guys, we are not about swapping sides. It is here on the blue side. Our Foxes, they are looking strong. They are trying something in the early game, but they will find the flash so far, nothing else. And the Ward XP, of course. It is, hailing from Switzerland once again, Foxnyr.
Yeah, a little bit of action in the early game. But nothing.
We forgot the red side. You can do the red side if you want. Can be like, and on the red side, ladies and gentlemen, it is VfB. You know, I can do something like that.
Alright. Hear me out, okay? And on the red side, we have VfB eSports. On the bot lane, we have support Hofi, AD carry, Fairy Fountain. And in the mid lane, we have Baumi. Jungle, we have Obsess. And finally, in the top lane, we have Sartorius.
Hell yeah! And for Foxnyr, we have Frolimo, Strelax, Blackpink fan, Marv, and this Moxie guy. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. They lost last game. I lost all hope in them. Cap, of course! Cap, big Cap. I know they bring it back this time. I believe in them, man.
Yeah, let's see what they have for the third game in store for us. I mean, I would not be surprised if we get to see more of the same in the top lane, right?
Well, what do you mean? What do you mean? We don't have Cyan anymore. We have K-Sante. We have 500 years of combined balancing experience.
Yeah, that is very true. The K'Sante does have a lot more outplay potential compared to the Cyan, right? That's very true, but you know, it will always be that lane bully in the early game. But you know, for Nemo, maybe we get the outplay potential. We have seen the insects coming through last week as well. So maybe he can repeat that in this game. But yeah, so far, once again, lane being pushed in for Sartorius on the Alawi, and Frelimo just has to suffer a little bit in the early game.
Yeah, of course, Eloy is strong in the 1v1, but again, we said it, Frelimo on a mobile pick this time. No more weird, bows strats, no more weird proxying or something. I think this time it is strong man versus strong woman on top lane, two muscular builds. Not this weird undead dude that has weird strats. No, this time we go all out, literally, with the ult from Keisante from Frelimo. Even though, yeah, you said it, in the early game we are struggling quite a bit on the top lane. All the other lanes are looking super fine so far. But the bot lane is where the junglers will end up, and we have not seen the Skarner this time. I think it's interesting that he even went for the grasp, by the way, even though he's a jungler and he cannot just perma-stack it. I think it always feels bad, but if it gives you a little bit of extra sustain in the fights, sure, why not, right?
Yeah, hopefully he's gonna find the Engage Ignite coming through as well.
Maxi Thunder might be in trouble and will die to the Varus. This is the first blood. And this is so annoying, because Strelex was right there, but not really. He was busy taking the scuttle. They did not see him coming, really.
Yeah, I think this is also a difference with the last game, right? Last game we saw those wards, being put on the Raptor camp, so kind of both teams knew the junglers pathing towards the bot side, so they kind of just handshook it and were like, okay, we don't want to have any trouble, we'll just leave it at that. But this time around, no wards, so there was no information on where these junglers were around, and Obsess is going to take advantage of that. He was just faster on the trigger, and he will find the first blood onto Maxi Thunder.
But wait, didn't he clear a ward? But I think maybe they missed that, or they just haven't played against the Skarner in such a long time, where, they kind of underestimated how quickly he just runs through the wall, basically, and just, has all the bursts ready, has all the utility ready. But I think that is a wake-up reminder, like, guys, we are not against Jarvan anymore, even though, like, it's Eloy for the third time in a row. It's Udyr for the third time in a row. Again, so many picks just staying the same. But in the jungle, it is a way different pick this time. Ignite on Herfy. Maxi Thunder has to, let this one go, though. And, oh no, look at Obsess. He's running straight for bot lane again, because he sees the wave. He knows they have to do something like this. Herfy flashing forward, getting the stun here. More flashing wave and cleansing. He wants to get out. Leave me alone. But nope. Obsess just skipping the jungle. And Maxi Thunder also dying to the turret there. This spells disaster for Foxnyr.
Yeah, this time it's kind of the opposite of game one. This time around, it's Fairy Fountain being ahead in gold, but Herald on Baumi being called out.
Baumi will be our first kill that we pick up this time, and our Obsess wanted to get one more. The Skarner is such a mystery to me. The pros don't pick him anymore because he got nerfed a few times, but when I look at Skarner here, like, Obsess makes the Scorpion look super strong.
Yeah, Obsess has found a lot of impact in this early game on the Scorpion. The Jarvan being banned away from him, and he finds a way to still find his impact on the Scorpion, but hold out. Maxi Thunder will catch him out in the jungle.
Had a stun from the bear, and now he will throw Strelex into the wall. Strelex, though, with the turtle, will stay alive a little bit longer. Sartorius with the level 6 is here, though, and Strelex has to put on his fancy feet. Maxi Thunder trying to help his friend. Blackpink fan jumping over the wall, getting the kill onto the Skarner. Skarner still a bit too clunky, too slow to get out of this one. And we can see both ADCs just chilling in the bot lane, just vibing, while all the action is happening on the other side of the map.
Yeah, what an insane play for Blackpink fan, right? Because initially, when you look at that fight, you have Strelex and Maxi Thunder kind of catching out Obsess in the jungle, but the damage is just not that high on those champions. And Strelex was kind of low as well. And then you look at top lane, Sartorius just has the lane priority, so he gets to move in first. So it kind of looks a little bit rough, on the side of Foxnyr when you look at it that way. But, Blackpink fan makes his way over, they save Strelex, and they find the pick, but Marv...
God! Marv will die to the hail of arrows there! What are we watching, Warlicks? Strelex getting one. Blackpink fan also here, but again, Obsess is so darn tanky. He will not go down for ages. He will get one as well. Strelex got two. He will go down for it though. And this means it will be round 2 in just a few minutes when the next Void Grubs spawn.
Yeah, I feel like Foxnyr is just kind of accepting that this bot lane is just very far behind right now. It's very difficult to find around it. So they're trying to find something in the top side, but you know, with Satorius just having that lead in the lane, like naturally because of, you know, her ability to bully out the lane, it's very difficult to find plays there as well, because every time you make a play, Satorius is gonna be there first. And Baumi as well has this long range Mega Inferno Bomb that, you know, helps out in every fight as well. So it's just very difficult for Foxnyr to find anything right now.
Oh yeah, I have to 100% agree. Moxie Thunder caught a little bit out of position here, and don't mind me, I'm saying a little bit, but the burst damage that we are seeing here from Leona is just absolutely disgusting. Pair that up with Fairy Fountains, Varus, and you truly have an Amumu that doesn't last for just any moment anymore. Even though Moxie, he got the Ninja Tabis, you know, still play the Steel Caps, maybe that helps a little bit, but man, it feels terrible to be on the side of Foxnyr right now. Except for Blackpink fan. He's the one big hope right now.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be Blackpink fan somehow, you know, finding his way into these fights, but it's just very difficult when, you know, the other lanes are just that far ahead at the moment. But we'll have to keep an eye out if Blackpink fan can find anything with the perfect execution.
The perfect execution is up, yep. That is, again, the player we have to look at right now. I also think it's interesting how the matchup works. Blackpink fan getting the shove. Meanwhile on top lane, Frolimo ghosting away using the Sum here. Oh, now here we might see a catch. Hervey going in though. Blackpink fan wants to do something. He's jumping in. This could be his moment. Perfect execution. Hervey is dead, but now he will die, and Obsess with a full item already, by the way, getting the first sec. Obsess is, yeah, actually, Obsess is the first one with a full item with the Heartsteel. That is just crazy.
Yeah, looking to sack a lot of HP. I mean, Blackpink fan does get the kill on Hervey on the Leona, but like it's a support and you're just caught in the enemy jungle, so it's not really worth that much, all things considered, because, you know, Baumi just get to push out this mid wave. You're gonna lose all of that CS, and, you know, overall, in my opinion, not really that worth, but there's just so little you can find at the moment if you're Foxnyr, because you're just so far behind in all your lanes.
Yeah, I think if Blackpink fan wouldn't lose a bit of CS in the mid lane, it would be fine, but he did lose quite a bit, right? He's already, like, behind one wave. Oh, and this dragon is also really annoying. Oh no, I hate to see it. First Dragon Ocean helps Baumi and Fairy Fountain and Sartorius in the sustain so much, right? I mean, it's not an auto win, but it's just over time it is a little bit that adds up. Now Marth getting caught here on the bot lane, flashing the Impale. Hervey will not hit the Zenith Blade. And this means for now we could be safe, or we could turn it around. Strelex will hold the top lane real quick, so maybe Frolimo can make something happen. But no Ghost Up, and that was maybe the sum that we would have needed here.
Yeah, they looked for the turnaround there, but, you know, VfB, they respect it, they walk away just in time, but hold on, because Obsess is not done yet.
Oh no, Moxie will die once again. His 4th death already, sadly. And I get it, as support you need to try to find stuff, so sometimes you need to walk up there, you know, into dangerous territory, but that's just not it, Chief, right now. Strelex in a 1v1 against Sartorius, and I don't think you can fight this one whatsoever unless we see the slickest Udyr plays we have ever seen. Like, genuinely ever. Blackpink fan in the mid lane, he's in the 1v2, but he knows that he could be the one making magic happen. He was slapped against the wall, and the last shurikens did not connect. I don't know if it would have been enough, but fact is, as a matter of fact, Moxie Thunder showed up in the mid lane because they really want those scuttles. They did get 4 so far. A few more scuttles for the taking. 4-2 in these situations. But yeah, Frolimo, Strelex. I think that is something that is looking good for us, but else it is looking pretty dire.
Yeah, it's not looking good. You can kind of tell like Blackpink fan is just desperately looking for any fights onto the 6, right? He knows that it's getting desperate and he needs to find any lead that he can get. But you know, I want to give a shout out to Obsess as well because you know, first of all, he has to pull out the Skarner because his Jarvan is getting banned, and he has just been every fight. He's been ready to counteract anything that Foxnyr has tried to do so far.
Yeah, Obsess is a really solid jungler, that's for sure, but he can also bleed. It's not like he is deathless. That is sadly only reserved for Sartorius and Fairy Fountain. And I mean, also for Frolimo on this point. So yeah, this time top lane. Not really too much happening. But on the rest of the map, man, there is so much happening. Again, maybe the split push could be an angle. But now, first of all, we need Frolimo to somehow get out of there. We'll still get stunned. We'll get CC chained. Can we survive this one? Well, Warlicks, I think... Yep, Frolimo is just dead at this position.
Yeah, that's just VfB moving towards the top side, relocating their bot lane to the top side as this Herald is about to spawn. And unfortunately, Frolimo is going to have to fall for that as well. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just not looking good for Foxnyr right now as VfB is just taking full control on every side of the map. And it is just very difficult for Foxnyr to find any pick at all. We're gonna see Maxi and Marv pathing towards his top side, looking to perhaps sketch out this bot lane before the spawning. But Obsess once again is in the vicinity.
Maxi caught, or the catcher, we will see in just a second. Marv trying to peel himself with the traps. Now a beautiful Curse of the Sad Mummy will make it possible. We have so many Foxnyr members here. Only Kaysante is missing, but Fairy Fountain dominating, literally and like metaphorically, getting skill number 6 in this game.
Yeah, like we discussed, there was, you know, our bot lane pathing up towards the top side, looking to catch out Fairy Fountain and Hovi, but you know, Obsess was in the vicinity as well. Luckily, it was a 4 versus 3 in the end. We get one pick, but they get the pick back as well. And in the meantime, Baumi had just free reign over that mid lane, so he gets the tower as well. So it's very much war for VfB eSports, and you're gonna be able to pick up the Herald on the back of this as well.
Yep, Herald will be taken, indeed. And Frolimo, once again, just struggling against this dominant pick. It is, again, the curse and, like, the blessing of blue side. You have your first pick, and you have many advantages in the draft, but counter-picking is not one of them. So, the Eloy, again, seen as the appropriate answer. Who knows, maybe next game it will be banned so we can finally see something else on top lane. But hey, Obsess also proves that, hey, it does not really matter what you pick at this point, right? If you ban the Jarvan, I just go Skarner and I have a ton of success as well. So yeah, perfectly showing that everybody here is capable of playing multiple champions to their full power.
Yeah, definitely Obsess a lot of impact on the Skarner. Always right place, right time. You know, they're gonna be able to secure this dragon as well in the bot lane. You know, Foxnyr, you can kind of see them towards the top lane trying to find something, but are you really gonna tower dive Sartorius? You know, the Alawi? No, of course you're not gonna do that. That's suicide. So they're just gonna have to walk away from that, and it's just gonna be the dragon for VfB eSports. And now they have the strong side towards the bot lane, so for Limo, perhaps in a little bit of trouble as Hofi is looking to go for a flank. It's gonna be the Herald popped as well. It's gonna strengthen this push as well, and it should be the tier 2 tower as Foxnyr are trying to collapse on the play, but they're so far behind, it's gonna be very difficult as well.
Oh, Foxnyr not connecting. Fairy Fountain already used the ult though, no more chains. Now Sartorius is jumping in here, the Mega Death Rocket not spent yet, but the Mega Death Bomb instead. Marv's still alive, but he cannot really get in there. And now even the ult does not really do anything. I thought maybe with the Super Mega Death Rocket he can get a reset and he can start to work with the passive, but if you cannot get a single kill if you're so far behind, and it's 9k gold right now, by the way, the Jinx is just not that good. You need a single kill, you need a single reset.
Yeah, Foxnyr, they're trying to find like any advantage they can get, right? They try to go top lane first, but then Sartorius is on this tower. You're not going to tower dive the Ilaoi. You say, okay, fine, then we're going to go bot lane, you know. Even though VfB eSports is there, we can maybe get a 5 vs 4. perhaps you can get a good pick. You know, Blackpink fan tried to get the flank in as well, but unfortunately didn't work out. And then Satorius also had the teleport, so it just ends up in a 5 versus 5. And you know, with Blackpink fan unable to find the quick assassination, it's just a teamfight 1 for VfB eSports because they're just so far ahead right now. Almost a 10k gold lead at this stage of the game is a massive gold lead.
And you asked the question, what build will the Varus go? Yeah, we will just bear witness here how Moxie Founder, he tried to get some vision, but nope, he was stopped right on his track. Sad enough for us. But yeah, I also had a bit of a hope. Maybe Fairy Fountain goes for lethality, and then in theory the pick will fall off, but no luck here either. He did commit to the attack speed and DPS Varus. Now Frolimo in a bit of trouble, tanking too much, will die to Fairy Fountain. Even the B-bomb used for that one. Marv has some potential here, but again, you need to find 1 kill. You need something, and honestly, especially you also need a second item. The clan's getting used here to get away, Herfy. Blackpink fan, can we find something? No, not in the Shroud in time. Moxie Founder trying to help out, but not there in time again. Sartorius is kinda low. The Super Mega Death Rocket will not find the kill though. And man, it is just looking dire. It is just not enough damage. We are basically being slapped by the big gold pockets of VfB.
Yeah, but you know, Constellation Prize at least we lasted longer than Mad Lions lasted against Team 1 or T1 in what was it, MSI I think. So you know, there's that. We survived what is it, 16 minutes and like 47 seconds, something like that. But yeah, it's looking very rough for Foxnyr, right? They're just so far behind. You know, you can find the engages you want, but you're just so far behind. You don't deal damage, you can't get the kills, and then you know VfB just turns it around in the blink of an eye. So they're just that fat at the moment.
Yep.
Oh, Baron spawning pretty soon as well. So 20 seconds till Baron. You can see VfB, they're just setting up the fishing currently. You know, hopefully sweeping out the last couple wards that remain. That Foxnyr were able to sneak in there. And yeah, with that, it should be the Baron coming to VfB pretty soon because Foxnyr just can't contest it. You know, they're trying to look for something. Perhaps they get the Dragon or they're pushing out the mid wave. Anything. But VfB, they will be able to get the Baron, most likely, unless we get a random steal here. It will be spotted out by Foxnyr. Tier 1 will be granted on the bot lane by Frolimo in the meantime. They're trying to contest it though. But
yeah, not really enough stuff there. Maybe Moxie Founder hitting 3 people. But man, the tentacles be slapping and the impale brings the rest of the meal of the, yeah, basically 5-course meal. Everybody is dead right now. And yeah, mentally, you have to go into the next one already, honestly. It's a tough one. But yeah, it's a best of 5 series. So, of course, you can always bring it back in the next one. You can draw some extra stuff and strats on the whiteboard again. But I think this one, as you said, Warleaks, yeah, it's a super tough one.
yeah, I think they're gonna have to find an answer to Satorius' Ilaoi. Perhaps they just ban it and they get rid of it. Maybe they decide to pick red side themselves, so they get the counter pick. But yeah, there has to be some sort of answer to it because, you know, Satorius has just completely dominated the top lane with that pick, and it just allows Obsess to just, you know, counter invade, get all the grubs, get so much vision into the jungle as well. And it's just been very oppressive so far.
Yeah, very oppressive indeed. And again, an Eloy from ahead is so annoying if you have to engage into her. From behind, she's completely whatever. You can just wait out her leap of faith and say, okay, now we go in. But here, if you are the one, you're really looking for the one moment, the one shot. You know, Eminem has already predicted it, basically, how the Eloy works. You have one shot, and Eloy is like, well, yeah, feel free to engage into me. I will press all my buttons, and you will get kicked by the tentacles. You will get completely violated here, completely destroyed at this point. It's insane how much damage this champion deals under good conditions, and this is sadly the reality that we are in. That Sartorius has the Eloy in this situation. And this is exactly what Eloy wants. Now, okay, Fairy Fountain will hit something, will get a bit of poke damage here. Now, yeah, the Wingborn.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see some sort of engage from Foxnyr here before it's too late. Instead, it's gonna be VfB engaging.
Okay, yeah, can we maybe bring something? This has to be the last stand. Obsess is dropping dangerously low. The Starks will keep him alive for way longer, though it is still not a single reset for Marv. He is just not allowed to have a passive in this game. It is so annoying, and even Fairy Fountain wouldn't trigger it because he has the Guardian Angel exactly. And everybody is so low, so it was so close, but it is just not enough here. Marv is the last survivor, but he can not do it. GG, well played, is called in the chat, and also by us. But it is going to be a 2-for-1 lead for VfB.
Yeah, this one is a complete stomp compared to the first two games that we have seen so far. And yeah, they just kind of ran away with the game, right? You know, they got the advantage in the bot lane because the gank worked out for them. Obsess, once again, had massive impact this game, right? First of all, finding that gank in the bot lane, you know, setting ahead Fairy Fountain. And then once again, the top lane is just naturally ahead because, you know, Ilaoi is kind of strong in the laning phase. And then Foxnyr just kind of got desperate. They tried to find something in the top lane, but once again, Obsess was just always there and ready to counter anything that Foxnyr tried to do. And yeah, once again, if you lose control over your top and bot lane, you know, it was all kind of left to Blackpink fan, and he couldn't find anything, unfortunately, on the Akali. He tried so hard, and, you know, after that, everything just kind of spiraled out of control.
Yep, a really good recap here. But guys, this means we have the next big question of today. Will this just be another win for VfB, and will they close it out, or can we bring it to a 2-2 and then go for a final, a best of one, for a final game? That is our dream right now, of course, and I hope we can do it. You know, if we are having a best of 5, might as well just go the entire length of it. But hey, maybe VfB are giving it their all one more time and are struggling. I can tell you one thing so far already. We are going red side, so finally we will be changing it up big time. And how will this play out? You will see after the break. See you then. Hello everybody. I got baited so hard. Because we were in draft just a second ago, and what happened?
The draft got cancelled. I mean, I don't know what reason. I mean, okay, we're back into the draft, I guess.
Perfect.
So we got baited a little bit right there. But yeah, tell our lovely viewers what you just told me about the site selection just a couple minutes ago.
Well, you can see it here, you know, if you look at the, you know. Yeah, we wanted red side, but apparently it's not loser selection, it is a back and forth kind of thing. So, and it was VfB's turn to choose the side, so it is not a swap. It was a huge bait actually. It was all a bait, nothing else.
Yeah, will we see the Ilawi ban? That is the question right now. Because the Ilawi has been kind of a pain. It's going to be a Ziggs ban instead. It's also very interesting because Baumi has been kind of like neutralizing the lane right for Akali. It's really annoying to play against with the Satchel, so you can kind of bounce away the Akali and you just clear all the waves, you play under your tower. You don't give the Akali an opportunity to do the things she likes to do. But speaking of the Akali, also banned on this side of VfB eSports, so perhaps you're gonna see a couple new picks this game.
Oh, that would be an interesting one. No more Akali in that regard. So, yeah. The Udyr is just the old classic though. Gotta say, I mean, let's be honest here. I think that's just like a champion pool thing. I feel like that is why we are picking the Udyr so early. Because like, of course, don't get me wrong, Udyr is a strong pick. But there would probably be some better first picks. But yeah, for now, it will look like quite the same game we have seen already a few times. It's Udyr, the 4th time in a row. And yeah, okay, this time Foxnyr is not the choice, but it is the Jarvan again. So that means it is the 3rd time we see the Jarvan. And hey, Varus has worked as well, so it is getting hovered now. We are thinking about picking it on VfB side, and it will be the reality. It will be locked in.
Yeah, a lot of similar picks so far, but you know, further down the stretch, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a couple new picks with Akali and Ziggs band so far. You know, the Ilawi is also still up for grabs as well. So I would, you know, be surprised if we don't see that picked on VfB eSports. It has been very successful for them so far. Yeah, we do see the Misfortune actually coming through for Marth, excuse me. We have seen it, you know, before as well. I think last week it was quite effective. It is going to be paired with the Leona, so you know you're going to have that lockdown from the Leona coming through the Solar Flare. You know, obviously Leona, like one of those champions, very well known for her lockdown. It's going to allow the bullet time to just, you know, fully melt through the AD carry on the opposing.
Well, it is not the Amumu combo that I would have probably expected. I would have thought we leave it open and then go for, you know, one of the big 3, like Nautilus, Leona, Alistar, Amumu. I feel like everything kind of works, but we did not want to give away the Leona. But now the answer in the Braum, of course, stuff like the Braum Shield or a Yasuo Windwall is really solid against the Leona. And it also makes blind picking Ornn top lane really unattractive. And this time, the Eloy and the Sion are banned. So, we need your predictions, Warlicks. What the heck are we seeing on top lane? It has to be completely uncharted new territory.
Yeah, I mean, VfB eSports, they're gonna get the last pick, right? So they can counter pick in the top lane, so you can see them. They're kind of just, you know, banning these safe top laners, the Sion and the Ornn so far. The Cassante, you know, is still up for grabs for Frelimo. So we're probably gonna see like a last pick counter top for VfB eSports, something else than the Ilawi. So we'll have to wait and see what we're gonna see there. You know, perhaps you know, one of those AD carry top laners. We have seen those be quite effective, or you know, another type of side lane split pusher. We could see that as well. But yeah, so far it's kind of more of the same that we have seen the previous games, right? We have our AD carries and the supportive tanks around it.
Victor going to be picked in the mid lane. Bit sad that Poro with Cookie is not here, because he is an absolute Victor enjoyer, and he could probably, I would just invite him into Discord and let him talk about how Victor is not good in the current meta, and how Victor is too weak right now to be picked, and now it's picked anyways. Hehe. Would you look at that? And now it's a tough one, right? What do you want to blind pick on top lane? Again, the sign not available. We have some other stuff that could be picked, and it is a Yone. And I think this could be the answer in the mid lane to the Victor, but it could also be a good top lane pick. I mean, if we are really insane right now, we could also just look for a, you know, like multiple flex where the enemy does not have a clear answer, you know, where he's not sure if he is up against Yone, Udyr, or Kayzante. But looking at that, yeah, the only real viable jungler here is the Udyr. And so far it's only the question, is it Yon or is it Kayzante? Well, it's likely going to be Kayzante. And the answer is going to be a Prada Gucci bag. It is the Crocodile.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by the Renekton. The Renekton is very strong in the early game, obviously, but I feel like, you know, there's probably better picks that you could have gone for Sartorius, but, you know, something that's stronger into the late game. But we'll see how that goes. Because, like I said, the Renekton is still very strong into that early game. But I feel like the K'Sante is just so much more effective in the late game. So it's really going to have to be the early game on the side of VfB eSports, in the top side at least. The Victor, also a very interesting pick. Can also do very similar things to the Ziggs, right? You clear out the wave with the laser really quickly. And, you know, you're trying to kind of play safe under your tower and make sure that this Yone doesn't get the picks, you know. It's also a very similar pick to the Akali, right? It's a very similar matchup in the mid lane in general. You know, it's kind of been the story of this series where, you know, it's been different champions, but the kind of the playstyle behind the team comps has been the same throughout all of our games so far.
We could make a meme for Twitter or something, you know. It's like, oh, Blackpink fan, you're a mid lane main. So that means you must play a lot of range champions and a lot of mages, right? And he's like, you know, Akali, Yon, yeah. There's, no, not really, no. Now you're thinking about it. He knows how to play against them. You know, he knows how to play against those champions. And I mean, it's an interesting one, right? Victor has the shield, he has the laser. If he knows where Yone ends up being, he can place his gravitational field there. I feel like Victor is not completely lost, but it should be Yone favored, right? And then I want to talk about a big one, by the way. We have the Misfortune pick into the Varus, and then we picked the Leona alongside it, and then the answer was Braum. So what about the bot lane?
Yeah, I feel like that Unbreakable Shield is going to be very annoying, right? If you can counter it for the bullet time. So that's a very effective pick on the Braum, but you know, there's just a lot of lockdown and burst on the side of Foxnyr. So if they can, you know, get a catch on a good timing, perhaps the Unbreakable is on cooldown or Braum is not around, you know, the burst damage for that bot lane is just going to be massive, right? So that's something they have to be very aware of. But on the other side, it's kind of like the concussive blows from the Braum. You know, the Varus DPS is just very strong. So, you know, in like a longer fight, I kind of favor the bot lane on VfB eSports. But if Foxnyr can get their burst down, you know, and get the kill before the fight can be prolonged, that is ultimately what they will be looking for.
Yeah, a lot to play about and around. We have all those important cooldowns here, like the bullet time, like the Kayzante all out, like the Leona solar flare. And then we have also other stuff on the other side, of course, the Chaos Storm, the Cataclysm, Renekton Dominus for the mid game, and of course the Varus chains. So it is going to be a tough one, because then again, the longer the fight, the better for certain champions. The shorter the fight, the better for other champions. I think you gave us a beautiful resume here, dear Warlick. So we can stop talking about it, and we want to jump into a loading screen.
Yeah, I do see the press the attack on Fairy Fountain on the Varus. So it's going to be that attack speed Varus once again. No lethality Varus, and we have a game pause. So much for stop talking and we start watching the match. Let's hope it's a small issue that they can resolve quite quickly.
Let's hope so indeed. But hey, might give my short introduction while you are waiting. That would be kind of anticlimactic, right? In this Sapia part. But no, never mind. We are back, so I can just jump into the game. You didn't even see anything from the actual pause. So guys, give it up once more. Foxnyr, they are trying to stay alive. They are playing the blue side once again. And on the red side, it is VfB. They are looking to close out the series. They want a single win to be 3-0 and be qualified for the PRM-Pokal, or in English, PRM Trophy event. It will be a banger one.
Yeah, let's see what will happen. We did see also the pings go towards the bot lane for VfB eSports, and they're gonna go 5-man stack it, kind of the same way that Foxnyr did last game. So let's see if they find any success with the bot lane bush deck. It seems like Foxnyr are not interested in going there so far. They're more spread around the map, making sure that no sneaky wards will be making their way into their jungle. So they're gonna actually make their way towards Marv, so he might get a little nasty surprise. Yeah, we'll be able to spot them out, so he's gonna walk away just in time. And with that spot, it should allow Strolex and Frelimo, if they want to, they could walk into that top side, get a ward off. We see Black Pink Fan also moving up a little bit, but no, they're just gonna stay put. I feel like, you know, it would have been a good opportunity to get a ward into the enemy jungle. But yeah, they will just be staying put for now. Maybe Marv did not spot all 5 of the enemies from VfB eSports. That could be the case, but they're gonna actually be hanging around here, so we're gonna keep our eye on them and see what they're up to for now.
Obsess, looking for the enemy red buff, and we'll find it. That's the strength of Jarvan, for example, right? You can just throw the flag into the bush, and yeah, the flag is just an amazing spell. It looks so simple, but it has so many different uses. And
yeah,
in the
Foxnyr,
end,
they did get the ward in that tri-bush, I think. So they did spot out that the bot lane from VfB eSports, they walked back towards the lane. So you already saw the ping on the map as well. They're very aware that Obsess is into the enemy jungle, or into Foxnyr's jungle, I should say. So let's see what Strolex is going to do to respond to that. Perhaps a counter jungle, or yeah, we're going to already see him is going to move towards the top side. He knows that bot side is compromised. So we're going to see a little bit of a split map in the start of this round, which means that, you know, on the side of Foxnyr, they're going to be a bit careful towards the bot side. You know, perhaps they are looking for a dive. It's going to be Marv actually walking into Obsess, looking for a little bit of poke, taking a couple of those small crooks. That is actually quite important for the
wait, we're looking for it. Obsess has to flash away. Marv flashes after him. One more auto. Come on, let's bring it. First blood for the Austrian ADC.
Yeah, it's looking a little bit more like game 1 this time. Marv getting ahead in the early game. He says, "Get out of my jungle. This is not your place to be." Gets the first blood as well. And yeah, that's quite massive, because in the meantime, Strolex, he is taking those topside camps, still stealing those away from Obsess. So yeah, we're gonna still see that split map, but Foxnyr, they just don't care. They kill Obsess before they can, you know, set up any sort of dive on the bot side. So very well played by Marv. You know, that ward in the early game playing out a huge role as well, because that made them aware that Obsess was in their jungle to begin with, and they kind of counteract the play themselves.
We gotta give it. Oh, never mind. Mid lane, Baumi is flashing away just to hold on the early. But yeah, the bot lane situation is so annoying. You are kidding me how well Fairy Fountain and Hervey played around that, because they just kept Marv away from all the CS, and now Moxie Thunder is stuck under the turret. He's getting knocked up. He is a pinball. Come on, minions. At least give us a consolation prize. And we will get the kill. So sadly, I have to disagree a little bit with you here. You know, we have to think about that again. You just said, hey, it's looking like game 1 again, where Marv is looking super strong. Sadly, Fairy Fountain and Hervey, they found a big exploit just there to shut our mouths right up.
Yeah, they found the counterplay this time around. They were able to stick around in the lane, you know, because Obviously, Marv, he had to reset after getting that kill and having to, flash after Obsess. And it allowed Fairy Fountain and Hofer to just stick around, and they kind of find the counter pick themselves. So very well played from the bot lane from VfB to kind of counteract the lead before it gets out of hand like in game 1. So this time around it will stay even. They make sure it doesn't spiral out of control like we have seen in previous games. Both on the side of Foxnyr and VfB, we have seen Fairy Fountain also spiral out of control in this virus. So for now, a very even game.
So far, a 2-4-2 scoreline. 1k gold lead though. Once again, just from CSing, just from the general early game shenanigans that are happening on bot lane. It is Marv on only 9 CS because he was zoned out so hard from those minions. And man, now they are struggling on bot lane. And to me, the sad thing is Obsess made the best out of it. He died in the early game, but he's not really caring at all. Now Hervey will drop really low. Moxie goes back in. Blackpink Fan finds a kill. That is really great, of course. But now the Dragon, in the early game, he dishes out a ton of damage. Marv and Straylex are coming in here. The Dragon will go over to VfB, but all the kills could land in our pockets. Marv still alive now in a 1v1 with Baumi. It's level 6 against level 4, but it is an ADC against the mid laner. And top lane watches this entire thing and is like, hey, if they are having action, we hit level 6, we also want some action. What do you think, Sartorius? And he's like, nah, I'm chilling.
Classic top lane experience right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite a banger of a fight right there. Marv, picking up a lot of kills, trying to get back into the game after being denied that much CS in the bot lane. So we have a look at the gold now, actually. I mean, even then, Fairy Fountain is still ahead in gold just because of that CS lead. So that just kind of, emphasizes how big that play was that they made the counterplay into Marv's first blood.
Yeah, exactly. And again, it wouldn't be so tragic if Obsess was completely out of the game, but I cannot stop praising this guy because he really looks just super solid. He died in the early game. Stuff happens, not ideal, but then he is still ahead on Straylex because he forced reactions. Now, on the next objective, talking about forcing reactions, Marv and Moxie Thunder are up here while Blackpink Fan is on the bot lane. But still, we cannot get all the free drops. We only got a single one, and I don't know what to think about it.
Yeah, it's gonna be Blackpink Fan towards the bot lane, has no TP, so it is gonna be the man advantage towards the top side, which means the Grubs are going towards the side of VfB eSports. They only get one of them, there's still one up at the moment. But the Blackpink Fan did get like a little bit of solo time towards that bot side for himself in exchange, but now, they're kind of continuing their dominance, their strong side on the top side to clear out that blue buff as well. So VfB grouping up together and making the best of it for them.
Exactly. Well played on dodging the Misfortune Q there, by the way. Fairy Fountain just stopped right in his track and didn't step up further. That could have been a neat little bit of poke, but it did not happen. And now finally, Obsess is done with the last of the free scuttles. And that means 3 more will spawn in 5 minutes at 13 minutes into the game, so just before the Herald spawns. I don't know if anybody can hit the 6. You really need to play for it to be there instantly and start them right up, but of course both teams know that, so they could react accordingly.
Yeah, I feel like that, entire sequence was kind of worth it for VfB eSports. They got the 2 groups, they kind of got the invade on the top side. And, Foxnyr, they didn't really have a plan, it looked like. They kind of wanted to contest, but then they kind of didn't want to. They tried to go bot lane, but then also didn't. Baumi kind of just set bot lane behind the tower, just cleared all the waves. And, in the meantime, VfB, they get the invade, they get the grubs. And for Foxnyr, there's no dragon to take, right? So they just kind of hovered around and they're like, yeah, dang it, there's no one here for me. And VfB just kind of run away with it.
Okay, mid lane, we see the engage, we see 3 people trying to get Fairy Fountain out of there. Huffy jumping away, Obsess is also here, Flag and dragging into it. Maybe that was a mistake, and yup, he realizes it was. He has to flash right out because Baumi was not yet in range. And the most important thing, at this play, Marv has free farm on bot lane.
Yeah, with Fairy Fountain being mid lane and dropping as well, it's gonna be Marv indeed getting all that free XP, free minions and tower plates on top of that. Now we're gonna see an invade towards the bot side, since Fairy Fountain is not yet in position to counteract this play, but he'll be almost there, so Foxnyr decides, yeah, he's probably quite near now, so we're gonna back off. They don't want to take that fight when they don't have to. You know, we talked about Marv getting all that free farm, so he wants to probably spend his money right now. I don't know if he has enough for Bloodthirster just yet, but probably looking to buy that quite soon. They're on a ward, they are spotted right now.
Okay, 3v3 is commencing. Maxi Thunder jumping on the Varus here. Marv has to find a good ultimate though. He has to evade all the CC. He has to wait a little bit, but he cannot die now. He's flashing out and the bullet time is coming through. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but he has to stay so far back. He has to dodge everything and Obsess will just smack him to death, and Obsess himself will not die. And that is an enraging one. You really do not want to give up those kills.
Yeah, I think Foxnyr, they accepted, you know, Fairy Fountain was walking back into the jungle. They kind of wanted to give it up. They wanted to reset because Marv had gold to spend, right? And then they were like, hey, wait a second. If we just hang around in this bush, perhaps we can get a pick, you know? But the ward was in the bush and, you know, they were aware of the play and they took full advantage of it.
Meanwhile, Sartorius could be out of position here. Straylex hesitating a little bit, you know. I can totally understand it now, flashing over the wall. Sartorius still looking strong and healthy. If he can spin for a heal, he should be alive. But nope, not happening here. Moxie Thunder, you know, talking about staying alive. Yeah, Moxie Thunder is just super dead at this point. So yeah, giveth and taketh, as they say. We got one on top lane, we lost one on bot lane.
Yeah, perfect example of like weak side, strong side, right? We have 3 towards top lane, we get the pick there. We're only 2 towards both sides and they have 3 there, so they get the pick there. And we can just handshake, exchange that, but you know, with the dragon being on the bot side, VfB eSports can convert their presence in the bot lane to another dragon, getting their second of the game. And meanwhile, on the top side, we don't have the grubs yet spawned, so in that advantage will be going to VfB eSports.
Oh yeah, definitely. Marv might be able to find somebody out of position here. Really good unstoppable here by Straylex. He wants to CC and damage Herfy as good as possible, but they might be out of position. Now he has no flash, so Straylex is stuck in there with everybody obsessed row. Dropping super low, but just hiding behind the shield from Herfy. Moxie Thunder, he wants to CC, but Marv is zoned out. Bullet time, no mana! Oh my god, Marv did not have the mana for a bullet time there. And that has to be so discouraging. Yeah, he did not have the 100 mana for it.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate for Marv right there, not having the mana to, you know, get those last 2 kills that were so low on HP. But yeah, you know, Foxnyr, they had the top side, like we talked about it, and Hofi, he tried to walk into the jungle, clear out any vision that Foxnyr might have put down whilst they have been present in the top lane. He kind of gets called out, but they don't get the kill, and by that time the rest of VfB eSports have collapsed on the play, and they're just kind of ahead right now, and that means the fight will be going their way. Now Maxi looking for a pick towards the top side.
Fairy Fountain could be in trouble. We will find the engage on him. We will find the combo with the Fate Sealed. But man, the reaction is there. Sartorius teleporting right behind Foxnyr. Finding so much. Blackpink fan getting the double kill though. Sartorius, the crocodile, is angry. He's furious and he activated his Dominus. So he will get the second kill of the game here. Meanwhile, again, I think it's so funny, some people fully committed, and then you look on the map, Baumi chilling in mid lane, Frolimo chilling in bot lane.
Yeah, they're just seeing getting tower plates for themselves, right? Probably a bit more favorable for VfB eSports getting the money on the Victor, right? The Victor even being 6-0-1, I haven't even noticed so far, being very far ahead in this game. I haven't even seen a Victor in my game in ages as well, so kind of interesting to see that pick coming through. But yeah, Blackpink fan did get a couple kills there, so he's quite far ahead as well. So, we're gonna have to see if he's gonna play into his side lanes and what he can get from there.
Frolimo realizing he will not get out of this one alive, so might as well try to kill Fairy Fountain. And honestly, this was a lot closer than it looked. Really well played on the all-out to close the gap. But yeah, sadly, the end result stays. He got caught by the enemy bot lane. And this means one more kill, but no objective up right now except for the Herald, so I don't think it should result in anything. But yeah, if we look at this game, it's like, again, we're playing the same game basically all the time, every time. It is mid lane, 5-1 against 0-6, both super fed. And also the ADCs, 5 kills, 6 kills, both really well in the game.
Yeah, I think the big difference though is that every single time VfB have been stacking towards one side of the map, they have been able to convert their picks into more objectives. And that is why they currently have the gold lead, but more skirmishes around the Herald.
Strelax, he can just not tank long enough to outlast the Cataclysm. Now the bullet time is really good here from Mar, finding the shutdown finally together with his mid laner. Mar flashing over the wall, trying to stay alive, and Fairy Fountain is like, nope, you will go straight to your grave. Only Frolimo alive. It is just not enough firepower, it is not enough tankiness, utility, everything right now from our boys at Foxnyr. VfB just seems to be a tiny step ahead.
Yeah, the team fight just being played out better for VfB. They also have the gold lead going in for them as well. Obviously, Obsessi is going to be able to secure that Herald as well on the back of that team fight, together with the tier 1 mid lane tower. So that is extra pocket money for VfB, together with all the kills they got in that team fight. So a huge gold lead swing in head of VfB eSports. Currently 7k gold ahead in 16 minutes into the game. That is a massive gold lead.
Honestly, it feels like Foxnyr had one strat, they practiced and they mastered, but somehow VfB, they fell victim to it the first game. The second game was still a close one. They did some adaptations, but they seem to slowly figure out Foxnyr here. And again, don't forget, guys, it is kind of a, mixed lineup. Strelax is not a main jungler, stuff like that. So, yeah, it looks like we are not flexible enough just yet with this lineup to maybe adapt ourselves. But hey, the game is not over yet, of course. Can we find a good fight in this choke point? The mid lane waves will clash in just a second. Until then, we are playing around this choke. We want to find something. A Blackpink fan on the melee character as well, trying to find a good flank. Trying to also heal back up with 2 lifesteal items. Now jumping in, looking for the backline. The fight is raging on. Blackpink fan did not die yet, but the bullet time did also not really connect to anything so far. We are not finding the backline access. We are not finding the success here in those team fights. As sad as it is, it looks like we are slowly but surely getting outscaled and also, again, just beaten by the wallet of VfB.
Yeah, they tried to look for something, Blackpink fan, he did get the mid lane presence, he pushed out the wave. It kind of gave an opportunity for an engagement, but, was unable to lock down Fairy Fountain, and, the bullet time also didn't have that big of an impact. Braum with the Unbreakable is just too powerful of a counter for the bullet time, and with those 2 abilities not finding their impact, it just swings the fight in favor of VfB eSports, especially considering the gold lead they have.
Yeah, can we find something here? Nope. Renekton, well, maybe, but also on mid lane. Moxie Thunder caught once again. Sartorius on top lane. The Crocodile Dundee will also be caught, and this is a way better one because it gives a shutdown to Strelax. That means the Deer is once again closer to being in the game. Now Fairy Fountain Herfy, they might be looking for something. We can check their vision real quick. They don't really know what kind of dangers are up there. Frolimo jumping into the mid lane, being like, oh, hello there. Do you wanna, maybe meet the bullet time from Marv soon? But yeah, nothing happening so far.
Yeah, they just walk away from the trouble before something gets out of hand. Sartorius also being down. Probably want to wait for him to get back up. before you look for any more fights. Get to spend all of their cash. They got 3 dragon stacks as well, so they're going to be looking for that soul point quite soon as well. You have Baron spawning in a minute as well, so for now we're going to see VfB look for a little bit of vision control towards that top side.
Top side is where it's at because the Nasher will spawn in half a minute. We are hitting the 20-minute mark, and in 3 minutes it will be another dragon, and we are on soul point already, so that would be the soul for VfB if they get it. But gonna be honest here, I don't know if they... Oh, bot lane. Are we finding something? Sartorius might be out of position once again. The Starrocks though keeping him alive for quite a while. But yeah, we're getting the kill on the side lane. And now I'm left wondering, can we get more? Will we go for the split push? Will we go for the contest? We will find out in just a second.
Yeah, VfB is gonna start off the Baron. We don't have teleport on Black-Pink Fan, so he's gonna go for the recall. Actually, it's gonna be Frelimo going for the recall. That is quite scary. Frelimo does have teleport, but this Baron is getting quite low. And looks like it's going to be secured as well, so... Yeah, we do get the pick onto Sartorius. We do probably get this tier 2 tower as well, as Black-Pink Fan is probably going to be finishing that one off. Actually, won't have time for that, no. So yeah, we get the pick, but they get the Baron, so that is mega worth for VfB eSports.
I feel like we would have died because the front line is just not there right now. Foxnyr, of course, is tanky by nature, by being a Leona, but yeah, as support you're also not on real tank items. And the Udyr sadly has not hit a single tank item yet. And what are you left with then? Well, Frelimo, but he was not there in time, and also Frelimo is only on 1 item so far, really close to the second one, but that is just the reality right now. I think it has been the correct call to just give up the objective. Now meanwhile, we are looking for some objective bounties, and the minions on top lane will help our friends Strelex in the jungle to get that one. But meanwhile, VfB are making use of their Nasher.
Yeah, they got the super minions in the mid lane as well, which are very tough to clear out. It's gonna be a change of corruptions right there.
Oh my god!
Legs.
He's alive for now. Aye. Yeah, that's also the thing. Sometimes you have to help with the wave clear a little bit as the Udyr, but man, is it dangerous if you're throwing out the Wingborn Storm with your passive. That means you have no more unstoppable, no more insane healing. And again, talking about the Wingborn Storm, it is there. Can we find this one? The bullet time is hitting good. We got the Brown Shield is again doing a lot. Black-Pink Fan is down, more flashing out of the Cataclysm. Sartorius on Foxnyr. Sadly enough, even though it was a banger of a series. We have to call the GGs. They are also called in the chat Marv, trying to defend, of course, but will not find any success. So guys, what a series we had witnessed, but this marks the end of today's journey.
Yeah, it has been an insane series. Foxnyr starting all strong. Unfortunately, unable to close out the series in a victory. It's going to be VfB eSports closing out 3-1. Very well played to them. Obsess has been playing insane in the jungle. As well as, I think everyone has been playing really well. Sartorius on the top lane has been very dominant with the Ilaoi as well. Baumi, even though, he has been kind of in the background, but even he has been, just clearing out the waves, kind of doing his job, right? And then this bot lane, even though it kind of faltered in the first game, Fairy Fountain and Hofi have been very dominant as well in the last 3 games.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we can't just wait like 1 more minute if we get any interview requests, but usually, if you are on the loser side, I don't want to force them to do anything. Usually you're a bit sad, you're a bit emotional in those moments, so just stalling for a little bit of time, just thanking everybody that has been watching. And I mean, hey, one good thing is we lost today. That means we have 1 more game tomorrow in the afternoon, same time as today, and that should be another a best of 5 if I'm not mistaken. It should be the, you know, this time we had the upper bracket finals. So let me just check real quick if I can just find, you know, the bracket and everything and yada yada, but it shouldn't be too hard, you know. Maybe we already know who we will be playing against, and that would of course be a fun one to know, but nope, the winner of the other series is not determined just yet. So that means we are still waiting for a potential enemy. It's either going to be Kanji. Yep, it's either Kanji Esports Academy or somebody that they are up against today evening. So whoever wins that matchup will be tomorrow's opponents. And in 21 hours, that best of 5 will be played. And if we win that one, we should still be qualified for the main event. So yeah, even though today has been a bit overwhelming, you know, really strong opponent here with VfB. Props to them. GG's, well played. But tomorrow we should have another chance.
Another day, another chance. Let's hope Foxnyr are going to be able to close that one out. And of course, if not, you know, I still think Foxnyr has played really well together, even considering the circumstances, right? You know, Sherlock's not a jungle player. They're just kind of gathering around whoever is available and making the best of it. And I think they have done very beautifully so far.
Exactly. So guys, I'm not 100% sure yet if I can make the stream tomorrow, but I think I should be able to do so. So very likely we will see each other tomorrow for the loser bracket final. Imagine just seeing that one, you know. It basically today we lost for content. Let's be honest, you know. It's a really simple explanation. Now, but of course, again, GG's to everybody involved. Thanks to you, everybody still sticking around, and we will see each other just the next time. Bye bye.
Goodbye.